continuous. Continuous, continuous. Continuous, continuous. Party nice right now. Right now. Right now. Right now, party hype right now. Right now. Authorities don't stop the vibe. Let the thing go. Continuous, continuous. Continuous, continuous. Continuous, continuous. Continuous, continuous. Unlimited credit card, fat pocket. Yo, white any in black bucket. So much juice like I'm from Nantucket. Yo, raise all the glass and knock it. 40 kilo shot, make the gal them chug it. Or give them something hard and rugged. We lock the place and no man can block it. Nobody can see we things and unplug it. Alright, look at them gal, them out and stress free. With body shape like bottle from Pepsi. Shut down the dance and our 5 bestie. We want them gal, them in with dynasty. Confident and full of self-esteem. Nobody can hide them up like Epstein. Anything them touch proper and pristine. Them gal me like on my team. Hey. Party nice right now. Right now. Right now. Yo. Right now. Right now. Right now. Party hype right now. Right now. Right now. Authorities don't stop the vibe. Let the thing go continuous, continuous. Continuous, continuous. Continuous, continuous. Continuous, continuous. Party nice right now. Right now. Right now. Right now. Right now. Party hype right now. Right now. Authorities don't stop the vibe. Let the thing go continuous, continuous. Continuous, continuous. Continuous, continuous. Continuous, continuous. Let the wine continue. Peace of mind continue. Let the dancing continue. Romancing continue. Let the vibe continue. Yeah. Let the vibe continue. Let the vibe continue. Let the vibe continue. Yeah. Let the vibe continue. Let the vibe continue. Let the vibe continue.
Yeah, you have a wicked waistline. They say no rest for the wicked. Yeah, you're real bad and I like that. Everybody in the dance want to track that. You're wicked, how you attack that? Everybody wanna knock it when you tick it and you tuck it and you tuck it and you rock it and you rock back. So, rock it up, make the bamba roll. Walk it up like so. Cause you know that I like that. Yeah, your waistline too wicked. Like a hit 6 in a cricket. You know what to do, so push back and roll, yeah, your waistline too wicked. Like a hit 6 in a cricket. You know what to do, so push back and roll, yeah.
I miss a bubble like a hot pot of soup. Baby, look how you're nice and you're cute. Baby, you got the sauce and the juice. My girl, just get them. Chop it and get them. You make man cheat and leave them women. Rice and chicken, and it's that.
Yeah, you're real bad and I like that. Everybody in the dance want to track that. You're wicked, how you attack that? Everybody wanna knock it when you tick it and you tuck it and you tuck it and you rock it and you rock back. So fuck it up, make the bamba roll. Walk it up like so. Cause you know that I like that. Yeah, your waistline too wicked. Like a hit 6 in a cricket. You know what to do, so push back and roll, yeah, your waistline too wicked. Like a hit 6 in a cricket. You know what to do, so push back and roll, yeah. I want your back it up, back it up. I want your back it up, back baby, back it up. I want your give me little simmons, give me little simmons, give me little simmons. I want your give me little simmons, give me little simmons, give me little simmons. I want back it up, back baby, back it up. I want your back it up, back baby, back it up. I want your give me little simmons, give me little simmons, give me little simmons. I want your give me little simmons, give me little simmons, give me little simmons. I want.
I messed it up, Griffin. I messed it up. I pressed the wrong button. I haven't even done the show push. I mean, it's all messed up. It's messed up! Oh my! God, you're muted, by the way. I can't hear you. You're gone.
I'm not muted.
Yeah, there you were.
You're
You were gone.
muting me.
No, I did not. You. I broke it. I broke it.
Are you still on vacation? Get it together. Come on.
I'm trying. I haven't even done the show announcement yet. All right, let's see.
Well,
If
there's a minute left in the countdown. There's a minute left in the countdown.
Hold on. I can get it. I can do it in a minute. Hi, everyone. Talking Trek is back. Oh, crap. Can't spell.
What?
I can't spell. And the podcast recorder's not working. Oh, God. All right, hang on.
You know what your problem is?
What?
You don't have a Welch's Grape Ghost Energy.
All right, I think I got it. Is this right? Okay, all right, good. Now, how much time we got left on the countdown? Oh, God, it's only 30 seconds. Talking Trek is back, ladies and gents, with a wrap-up on the December arc, a look back at 2024, but better than the GM guys. No, I shouldn't probably put that. 10 seconds!
Oh, wow.
I look back at 2024 and shenanigans. Yeah? Okay. We'll do that.
Sure.
Shenanigans. Oh, God. Oh, God. We're out of time. Dang on it. Oh, no.
Can you get it together?
I'm trying, man. How do I share? Oh, there it is. YouTube copy. You know, YouTube doesn't use the same link every time. This is a pain in the butt. This is a pain in the. Okay, now I just pushed the. Thanks, Papa Smurf. Hi. I just pushed the show announcement. So if you give me a few seconds to push the rest of the show announcements.
Not enough time.
No, I've got plenty of time. There's always time. Okay, we've got time. There's always time. We've got all the time. Just a little bit more time. Come on. Almost. 4 more. 3 more. 2 more. 1 more. Got it. Oh, why are you so mean to me?
I think I foobarred this.
I didn't foobar anything. Oh, now the timer started over. Gotta turn that off. Okay, there. I got it now. I got it, everybody. Woo! I wanted to mess it up now before the new year because I am not going to make mistakes in 2025. That was funny. That was funny right there. Moose says I sit on a throne of lies. All right, good evening, everybody. Hey, what's going on?
Big one.
Hi, everybody. Welcome into the show. How are you all? Why is there 2 chats? Appreciate you guys all being here. Welcome into Talking Trek Live, Star Trek Fleet Command's official podcast, back after our holiday break and ready to kick off a Talking Trek server sound off with you guys. I'm up. You go ahead and hit it. I'm going to scroll back a little bit. There we go. Got it. Lord Sunday didn't like my Caribbean music starting out with. Why not? Lord Sunday. I'm in that kind of mood. Raj on server 9, thank you. Nude Whistle on 29. Peter Swanson on server 1. That doesn't exist. Dahagas on 16. Thank you. And that one's not a thing. Dr. Juby says screwing up an STFC podcast is so STFC. I know. Fun. Hi, Bubba Joe. Good evening. What's up? Bubba Joe, hope you had a wonderful Christmas. And a great holiday. Take 2. Yes. All right. Here we go. Lord Sunday on 199. Dahagas on 16. Tarpy on 70. Skawa on 22. Thank you. Adam Rambles on the Victoria server 20. Got that. Thank you. Bender the Robot on 51. I'm struggling to read. Where did you just go? What just happened? Balabam
I'm
on
right here.
17. Odysseus on server 11. What's going on? Burton on the Victoria 701. Silver Tab on 40. Roboski on 74. Mad Hatter on server 95. Wham on 15. Shadow Sheep on 133. And Alicia on 701. Moose on 53. J-Babes on 13. John Drill on 32. MJ Hat on 36. Christian on 27. Retrieving on Retrieving. Chronox on European 121. Ultravetica on server 195. Engineer on 89. Patrick on 107. Hunter on 31. Rico on 55. Woody on server 15. Lost Soul on 42. There's so many more. Hat on 36. R&T on server 16. Welcome in, everybody. Appreciate you guys all being here. My name is Ultimate DJs. This is Talking Trek Live, Star Trek Fleet Command's official podcast, back from holiday break, saying hello to both of our audiences. We've got audiences over on YouTube tonight. We've got audiences over in Discord. And we've got audiences here on Twitch. And if I do my math...
3 audiences. You said both audiences. There
are 3 now because we're doing the TriCast thing. If I add them all up, let's see, 38 plus 158 is 196 plus 21 is roughly 220 people. Thank you. Yeah.
There you go.
Hey, Hunter. How you doing, Bob? Hi, Jack. Message redacted. Hello there. How are you guys? Appreciate it. Ultravetica says it is both. Both equals 3 in this game. I'm all good. Yes, because that's one thing that we know how to do in STFC. It's count. Good evening, everybody. Appreciate you guys all being here. Next year, Deathblade says, DJ is not allowed to go to Scopely offices. We don't want it to go to heck this time. Listen, I am unfortunately... That's absolutely true. Every time I go, Griffin, every time I go to Los Angeles, something bad happens. But this time, we went to the Bahamas, and nothing bad happened. As a matter of fact, great. Okay, I say great. This is probably just where, like, I'm in a good mood. By the way, how was your holiday, Griffin? Griffin's here, everybody.
It was just fine.
Griffin's here, everybody. Look at Griffin. Look at him. He's not green.
I've been a good boy, and thus I am pink skin colored.
You are pink skinned. Yeah. Why is the viewer attack thing on? I'm pretty sure I turned that off.
I'm pretty sure you didn't because we see it. There you go.
Okay. Ah, it's back. I know I turned that off. I know it. In the
back
deepest...
on the screen, and Moopsies won another cruise.
Okay, hold on. Hold on. I'm gonna go in and turn it off. Why? Got it, everybody. Everything's good. So, yeah, it's Moopsy's royal theme, the sticker party. Yeah, I know. Did I get my officer from the SMS? No, I'm still chasing it. But I did win. By the way, all right, for those of you who were with me the other night when I was trying to math out my ahead of the curve event, we made one small error. It was that the Fleet Commander event is actually today, okay? Which is great.
Yeah.
That's great. But guess what? It's going to end after. It's going to end after Ahead of the Curve finishes. So this was not the one I had to win. So I had to go and win. Fortunately, I am so fortunate that I was able to put this one together because I had a bunch of stuff saved up. All right. Yeah, I forgot. Well, if I had won the one today, it would carry over to the next month because my Scopely sources tell me that tomorrow at Event Reset, there will be a brand spanking new Ahead of the Curve event that will kick off like as soon as this one ends, a new one starts. All right. So if I was going to claim those rewards, it's actually going to go in Ahead of the Curve for next month. Okay? Next month. All right? What nonsense is that, says Daystros? Well, that's the way, that's fine. It works fine. But I miscalculated because when I was looking at it, I'm like, oh my gosh, it's going to be on the last day. And when I claim the rewards, it's going to be after this event ends. Yikes. So we're going to get another one that will start in less than 24 hours. Okay? Yeah, 16 hours. Another one is supposed to start. Jondrel says, ahead of the nonsense. Listen, I am not upset about this event. I know some people are kind of fussy about it, Griffin, but I have not been one of them. Now, I have been very lax. I have not finished yet. But a lot of you have. A lot of you guys have. And some of you got good pulls. Some of you did not get good pulls. I have seen that is not working the best for everybody. That being said, it is, hey, it's a meh event, says Blue Meanie. Jondrel says it's terrible for the 40. See, I don't know, man. I don't know. I just don't know. We did this math the other day on the Twitch stream. I guess if by this point, I probably just need to do a quick and dirty video on it, Griffin. It's probably what we need to do because we have that spreadsheet, right? We've got the spreadsheet. And yes, by the way, I will acknowledge that it is more difficult for 41 through 44. 41 through 44 is where you've got a little bit of a weak spot. But I hope that they fix that. I don't know if it's going to be fixed, but 41 through 44 has a little bit of a weak spot in that they have fewer events, but just the same number of points. Crusher says add 40 to that. No, I disagree. I disagree. Actually, you're correct. Yeah, it's 40 through 44. That's right, because the last one ends at 39. So you're right. But the challenging thing with that event, I think, was people understanding it, Griffin. Understanding that the weekly events gave so many points towards it. This was clearly meant to be, in my opinion, ahead of the curve, was meant to be driven by the weekly events, not necessarily the dailies as much.
The thing is, it's a matter of organization and how you truncate and organize all of these events so they make sense when you're looking at them. So you see that you have the overarching monthly event, under it, the weekly event, under it, the daily event, and under that, the 12-hour events. And if they all appeared in the same place and organized a little bit better, left to right, I think people would have had a handle on it a little bit sooner, enough to be able to participate and really see the value of those weekly events. Because even now, you go and look at them, and it's a little confusing what counts, what doesn't count for the monthly, and just keeping it all straight in your head on the back of a completely new shift and a completely new, design change after 5 years. We're used to seeing the same thing, and now it's a completely different overlay. It just means organized a little better. But in concept, I think it's great. I think it's a reward for a participation device that we have not had in the past. Now we're being rewarded in additional ways to do these, regular daily and weekly events. And that's not a bad thing. It's just keeping on top of it and staying organized could be a little bit better.
Yeah. Scalyback says muscle memory is hard to quit. And I totally get that. But we here at Talking Trek did try. Now, I do think that I probably should have made a video, but it was a very busy month. All right. Jondrel says it's spend upon spend upon spend. And this is where I have to disagree. No. All right. Because it's not that. It was a combination. It really was purely driven by engagement. And if you were very engaged, this actually had an inverse relationship, Jondrel. If the more you were engaged, the less you had to spend. All right. For example, if you were looking here, and we've got this Google sheet up for the podcast audience. I know I've put this in the graphics room. I'll put it in the graphics room again for you guys, if this helps. For you guys in the podcast audience, the timestamp is exactly 8 p.m. Eastern time on Sunday night. But this spreadsheet will allow you to change the number of points that you needed at the top. For me, it was 11,800 points. That was what I needed for ahead of the curve. I am greater than Ops 45, so I had a total of 7 weekly events available to me. If you were 44 and down, you only had 6 events weekly available to you. Now, this is why we say that 40 through 44 had a rough time, because your target points remained 11,800. All right. Even if you lost that one weekly event, which, by the way, if it ran 4 times, that's 1,200 points that you were down. 1,200 points that you lost access to. That is actually a really big deal. If I were going to identify a problem or a failure with this event, it's right there. It's not for G3. It's not for upper G4, any of G5, any of G6. It is literally 40 through 44 because the milestones adjusted for everybody else except 40 through 44. So if you were 40 through 44, you had a bad day with this event. That being said, anybody 39 and down or 45 plus, it really came into the weekly events. Now, I'm going to change this real quick to 26, all right, 26 days in the month. All right. Because this past month, the event only ran 26 days. Now, moving forward, it'll be 28. So you will want to change this drop down on your spreadsheet to go to 28 or 26, depending on what the month is. This next month is going to be 28, and it should be 28 days all the time. Okay. So 28 days, if you complete all 7 of your weekly events and you complete all 7 of your pinnacle events, then you are going to have to do 6 dailies on the month. That's it. In 28 days, you're going to have to choose 6 12-hour events to participate in. That doesn't have to be spend, all right? It could be. It could be artifacts. It could be ship materials, which would end up being material spend. It could be fleet commanders, all right, which is very, very easy to do if you have the Titan. I would argue that with a decently developed Titan A, all right, the one that gives you skill points for your fleet commanders, that should be a gimme. All right, and that event is going to pop up between 3 and 4 times a week. All right, every 2 days, that fleet commander is going to show up, that fleet commander event. You have every 2 days and 20, that means it's going to show up 14 times. You got to do 6 of them. Right there is your easy. That's your easy out. If you fully engage in the weekly events Monday through Sunday. And that is where I think that there was confusion. We did try, Griffin, to get the word out. We probably do need to do a quick and dirty video to get posted on there regarding the new schedule. It's just crazy busy this month. But that's it. Monday, do your lat rush. Tuesday, do your Q's trials. All right. Wednesday, you've got 2 of them. Now, this is really, really important. Regardless of whether the month has 26 or 28 days in the event, you've got an event or went 2 events every single Wednesday. All right. Some people have said that one's a little bit tougher. I don't know. I don't know if that is accurate. I mean, maybe all the way down in the very low G3s, I could see that being an issue because of the FKR event where you've got to start some armadas. But if that were the case, if that's one that you struggle with, then drop it out. Take it out. All right, and then see how many more that you've got to do. Let's say that that you are an Ops 35 who is going to struggle with that event. All right, on Ops 35, if we take a look at what is the ahead of the curve. Let's see if we can find it. Here we go. Ahead of the curve. Let's say you are Ops 35. That means your top milestone is only 10,900 points. So let's adjust this. All right, and we're going to eliminate the Zindi Armadas. We're also going to eliminate Swarm or NSEA Sunday because you can't do that one, okay? So now we're going to drop to 5 weekly events that we can do, all right? But you're still going to do all 7 pinnacle events, all right? 5 weekly, 7 pinnacle every single week. That's if you give up on the FKR one. All right, then that's going to bump it up a little bit. You're now going to have to do on average of 6 per week or 21 per month. All right, 21 exactly on the month. Well, you do have a fleet commander one every 2 days, so there's 14 of them, so you'd only need to find 7 more. Maybe you are going to spend a few materials during your weekend auction. Maybe you have enough stuff to do the artifacts one twice a month. All right, because of your accumulations in the refinery. Yo, what's up, Trek? Thank you. Thanks for the follow. I can't read your name. Spock, thank you, by the way, for the sub. Westcott for the follow. Listar, thank you for the sub. And Alicia for the resub. Appreciate that. So this chart will help. And for those of you in podcast, I'm trying to illustrate it very, very easily, but you can change the number of points. You can change the number of weekly events. You can change the number of pinnacle events, and it will tell you how many on the month you've got to do. And do keep in mind that those 12-hour events cycle every 2 days. There's only 4. Building materials, or building and research materials, artifacts, ship parts, and fleet commanders. That's it. Those are the only 4. They cycle every 12 hours, all 28 days. So those 4 events you're going to get all month long. You will be able to do this. Now, I get that some people have not seen the overall meta here. Some people have not seen the overall points, and they look at, for the example, ship parts and building materials and research, all right? There's almost always one of those going. That's why people, I think, are feeling like it's very spend, right? But because there's always one of those there. But you really should be trying to maneuver your way around those, in my opinion. This particular...
Yeah, they're not quintessential to winning. In fact, you can avoid them almost entirely.
You can avoid them almost entirely, but that does require near perfect engagement throughout the week. And honestly, if you are struggling to find ways to spend materials and parts, then you need to find a better way or find some method at which you can feed that Wednesday FKR event. All right. And you can do it with uncommons. All right, you can do it with uncommons. You can do it with rares, epics. You can do it with Zindi. There's a lot of different ways you can score in that event. That seems to be one of the most important events in this entire cycle, because if you don't do it, it really amps up the number of dailies you got to do. If you pick that one up, all right, let's say you pick that up every single week, that drops you all the way down to 9 dailies that you've got to do throughout the entire month. All right. And listen, maybe you don't do it every single week. Maybe you could do it once or twice throughout the month. Well, that will still eliminate having to run 6 of those dailies, and it'll drop them back down. Now, if you want to go and talk about how the fact that there's no Latinum, there's no Ultras, there's no Officer XP, hey, listen, I'm with you on that. All right. I'm with you on that. That feedback has been submitted. And honestly, I don't think it's going to happen on this upcoming run because everybody was out for the holiday. All right, but I do think that they're actually going to make an adjustment there. All right, I've had a lot of people tell me that they were interested in talking about some of those coming back in. That's right, the Ultras, Ultra Vetica, they're not there really. All right, so I think that we're going to see an opportunity for those to kind of come back in. All in all, though, the new daily structure I kind of really like, and I think that a lot of that has to do with some confusion, kind of like what Griffin was saying earlier. That being said, there were a few different things that happened this month that was new that some people might not have fully recognized, like this New Year's Eve event. Wow, that's cool. All right, we're going to talk a little bit.
That just jumped out of me right like a snake right out of the grass.
Yeah,
I logged in, and what the heck is this? It's like this whole production, a major production.
Yeah, with no communication about it, like none.
So, like, right when that started, people were so mad they weren't going to get officers out of it. And as soon as they added the Boldly Go stuff, I'm like, there is so much that we're getting out of this. I'm not sad anymore. Like, so much stuff.
So, yes, so much stuff with resources and materials. That is accurate. Okay. I don't know if it is a good enough replacement for the officer sourcing. Okay. Unless I'm wrong, but the odds on the officer sourcing looks really bad. All right. The odds on the officer sourcing looks bad.
The odds, if you only had, I sent you a spreadsheet for that, but the odds if you only had the flash pass for the same number of officers that you had in a normal flash pass was horrible. You get like a half to a third. But with all of the Boldly Go stuff, I've been traveling. I haven't had time to actually math the additional pulls that you get, but it's back up to what you would get in a normal flash pass for officers.
Okay, well, that's good, I guess, with the opportunity to get more. All right, so that's good. The thing that I love the most about a New Year's celebration, I got to be honest with you, I don't know. I know nothing about this. The staff did not communicate with me prior to its release. So I do not know, Griffin, if this is here to stay. I have a conspiracy theory if you want to hear it.
Oh, right. I always do.
Yeah, I think that this is going to be the new. They mentioned in the roadmap that they were going to redo the dailies. I think this is the new daily format. I think they're testing it. I think they're testing it. But I think this is going to end up being the new daily format. Yes, Moose. I'm thinking the same as you. I think that the New Year's Eve, the Boldly Go, is going to end up being the new daily format. And a lot of games do this. A lot of games do this. All right. This is actually very, very familiar to me when looking at this compared to other games. And what I love about this, and what I found amusing about this, Griffin, is everybody rushing to get every single one of them done every single day. I saw a lot of that. My Alliance chat was so slammed with exchange armadas yesterday. Oh my God. You guys and your exchange armadas. No, I haven't finished all mine, Balabon, because I know that I have 5 more days. Shinzola said,
spoken like somebody who's totally not going to finish it.
I got this. All right. Now,
you're not going to finish it.
Probably not. But this is great though. I can do them at my own time. Timothy says there wasn't good communication on it. There was no communication on it other than what showed up in the in-game news. So here real quick before we bounce around too much. All right. I have an announcement to give you regarding Boldly Go. All right. It was in the event store or in the news center that they told us what each day was going to be. Alliance, officers, and solo armadas is today. We also know now, based on a communication from the writer of this event, is that it's not intended to be 100% free to play, which I am not wildly offended by. I'm going to explain my thinking here in just a moment. All right. Mainly because the rewards are the same all throughout. Tarpy, this is what you were talking about a second ago with the officers and everything. You can earn the same rewards, just less of them. All right. And spenders can get more. By the way, I'm going to look at some of the spending events, and I'm going to tell you a couple of tricks with them. All right. Now, real quick, we're in day 3, Alliance, Officers, Solo Armadas, which is kind of goofy or fun, depending on how you want to look at it, because Solo Armadas actually worked yesterday. Okay, so Solo Armadas actually worked yesterday for the Group Armadas one, which is actually very, very lucky. And this is why I chuckled at everyone who was doing the Exchange Armadas. But they wouldn't have known. It says Group Armadas. It was just a bug. It'll probably be fixed later. All right, but today you've got to do the Solo Armadas, okay? And defeating a Solo Armada is going to give you these points. Now, what's interesting about here on day 3, all right, let's break this down. Interestingly, on day 3, I want to point out that I personally have not run any Borg Type 3 Solo Armadas today. I actually ran them yesterday when I discovered that they satisfied the Group Armada.
Oh, me too. I did one, and that's it. I did all of them that way. It was a triple hit.
Yeah. So let me point out a couple of things that we're learning about this particular mechanic until it changes, because I'm sure that it will. All right. But for the next 3 days, you are going to have an opportunity to finish this a little bit easier. All right. It would appear that it is taking into account any action that you took since the event began.
It more than appears that's exactly what happened. That's why this morning when I logged into the game, basically all of my stuff was already done the second it came live for day 3.
That's right. Helps, for example, 120. I can assure you I didn't send 120 helps today. Officers, gaining transporter patterns. I haven't recruited anything today. All right. Recursion said, which is the way it should be. The tasks are grayed out, but completing in the background. This is great. Now, I don't know if they're going to keep it. I doubt that this was the intention, but this is still cool and will work for you guys on its completion. Now, the reason that I'm going to argue that this should stay this way is that this is a 7-day event. I know it only shows 5 days up here. All right. But it will not end for 7 full days, which, by the way, is why I think it's the new daily structure. Okay. One other thing real quick too. Day one, depending on when you logged in, it has a 23-hour cooldown for some reason. Not entirely sure why that is, but it's a 23-hour cooldown, and it doesn't reset at event reset, which sounds weird. So, like, if you log in at 4 o'clock, you won't see your day 2 events till 3 o'clock the next day, and then day 3 won't show up until 2 o'clock the next day. Just be aware of that. Some people got their events sooner than I did. Blue Meanie says the login thing is annoying. Yes, a little bit, but it's fine. All right, I'm not going to fuss about it because that means that the events are already active and collecting in the meantime. Okay, my login is like 7 p.m. Carissa, go ahead, Tarpy.
All right. I was going to say they already built in how you can have an extra day after the 7 or after the 5 days of your events. So, like, if you don't log in until 11 or 1 minute before reset on day 1, you still have a full 23 hours by the end of the week.
That's correct. Now, I can't read. Wilson says the login claim is messed up. It's not. It's just on a 23-hour timer from your last login. If you guys know, if you guys will note here on my screen, if you take a quick peek, my objectives will unlock in 23 hours and 39 minutes. That's because I just logged in 21 minutes ago and claimed my day, okay, my day 3. That is kind of how it works. Kel said it's the same way field training works, and this is what it is. It's not, it just doesn't show up until your 23-hour timer is up. Okay, or 24-hour timer, or whatever it is. So that being said, it's still okay, though, because you know what the events are if somebody else got them first, and the events are completing in the background, even though they're not showing up yet, which, by the way, is fantastic. Okay? Crushin says you need to have the Revenant for solos. Okay, it says that, but it doesn't mean that. Okay? It doesn't mean that. All right? Group Armadas. Group Armadas will do it. All right? They didn't tell us that, and I don't think that they intended for it. I do think that they intended it to be heroic. All right? But again, I'll explain why I'm somewhat okay with that anyway, coming up here in just a moment. All right? That being said, I am here to tell you that here on day 3, you got the officers, the solo armadas, and your alliance contributions, all right, which is what the news center said. I am here and going to tell you about day 4 and 5. Repairs. Ooh. Okay? I have permission to tell you this, just not exact numbers. All right? Not no, I have permission. I got permission. But it's in the news. Look. Day 4, repairs, materials, PvP. I know people are freaking out about this one. Oh, boy, materials. That's the heroic one, isn't it, DJs? That's the heroic one. Well, it is. All right. But I looked at the milestones, and they actually shared them with me. That's why I say I can't share the exact numbers with you, but I did have a chance to look at them. For example, the repairs, day 4 on repairs. Yo, up 60 and 61, got you. All right. By the way, I am curious about this. Can an up 60 and 61 tell me how they're spending Sigma Trite on repairs? Is it from the board cube? How is an up?
And Selkies.
No, you can't have a Selkie at 60 and 61.
61 you can.
61 shipyard you can.
Okay. How about a 60?
Board cube.
How about a 60? Board cube.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, listen. In the repairs one, they had you the required spending trite, Sigma Trite at op 60, and I'm like, oh, that's not good. Don't do that.
Ooh.
Don't do that.
Yeah,
they were like, but people are spending it. I'm like, wait, what? How? And they caught me. I didn't know. But yeah, it must be the board cube. By the way.
Yeah, but they need to have like their epic though at tier whatever to get the board cube to where it needs Sigma.
Well, the good news is
high tier epic.
Good news is that stuck out at me like a sore thumb. I'm like, yo, we better move 60 and 61 down to normal trite. So we did. Now it's a lot. But I mean, your ships burn a lot of trite, so it's fine. 60 and 61 have been moved down below the Sigma for titanium repairs for day 4. So that's a good one. And I think that is going to be very easy. I think that you guys are going to be very fine with the repairs. That one's not going to be heroic. The materials one, that looks like it's got 5 milestones in it. All right, just like what we've seen with some of these others. All right, the first 3 are relatively obtainable. 4 and 5 look high, but they're still not crazy high. To be honest with you, I have completely forgotten about the G4 economy. G4 numbers looked crazy to me, but then I was reminded that everything in G4 just cost more. So is that accurate, G4 players? It matters. Go back in time. Tarpy, help me remember. Should G4 be like 5 times higher than G5 and G6? I would think so, right? Yeah? No?
Yeah.
The G4 numbers looked really, really high. How do they compare to the weekend SMSs? They don't compare. And here's why. Don't stress, guys. This is why I say this. I know that they said heroic, but I don't think a lot of this is actually truly heroic. I think they put that there just in case people are not 100% for sure where to go on day 1 with this thing, Griffin. Because guess what? These will count common materials.
Yep.
And
that's different.
That is different, and it's awesome. All right? So when you're talking about the materials one, looking at it potentially being heroic, well, they are large numbers, and obviously common is the lowest point denominator of all of them, but we've always complained that there's so much common. Certainly says, oh my God, I have so many common researches to do. Well, now you'll actually get rewarded for it.
So can I posit an idea that
Sure.
with the ahead of the curve meta and the dailies that require mat spend, that if they keep the ability for whatever mats you spend during the week to count for a later day in the Boldly Go stuff, that would actually be really awesome.
Wouldn't it? And we know that it's working that way now. All right? Whatever materials you
hopefully
spend.
they don't get rid of it.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's what I'm saying. This whole thing works together really, really nicely. By the way, there is PvP tomorrow, which I looked at the milestones on that. I'm probably going to have a good time with that. I know not everybody's going to. Not everybody's going to have a good time with that one, but I mean, it's not 2 or 3 kills and go home. I got
this feature is not going away simply by the amount of programming they put into the interface and how easily it ports into the game and how widely received it is.
And it works.
It works. I mean, it works really nice. That's right. There's PvP tomorrow, Hunter. Day 4 will be PvP in the New Year's Eve event. Then on day 5, we have Syndicate, Consumables, and Reputation. The Consumables will be... I'm just going to go ahead and tell you right now, primarily based on Tetrions. Okay? Primarily based on Tetrions. I'm pretty sure... You know what? Hang on a second. I'm going to look. I'm going to make sure real quick, because now I can't remember if that was for the PvP event or not. I think you get points for Tetrions on the PvP day. I might be saying this wrong. But I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell you because I've been given permission to tell you, just not the numbers, but what you kind of need to be looking out for doing. Okay? Okay. Looking at it. Day 4. Materials. Okay, no, I said that incorrectly. The Tetrions are going to be on day 4. It's using the cloaks in PvP that will give you some extra bonus points. Okay? So you've got PvP battles, and then you've got Tetrions. That's part of the heroic. Okay? No, not cloak kill hostile. No, it's in PvP. Initiate PvP while cloaked. Okay. Are there
Well,
points
what? What's the cloak?
for Are there points for losing? No. There are not.
Oh man.
But if it's initiate PvP, that just means you don't have to, like, whatever the outcome is, it doesn't matter.
So for the Tetrions, that's correct. Oh, I take that back. I'm sorry. There are lost points in here. There are lost points. Forgive me. Yes, they're here. I just didn't see them. Woo! All right. So yes, you've got PvP with win and loss, and you got Tetrions. Okay. So that's on day 4. Day 5, you've got Syndicate, which okay. You guys have all been doing fine with the Syndicate in the first 2 milestones, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And we know that it's collecting all the Syndicate. Let me just say this. I don't think that there are any heroic milestones remaining. I think what we saw yesterday, actually, with the heroic with the Revenant Armadas, I think that's it. Honestly, because the Syndicate numbers, they don't look that high, okay? But you also are talking Syndicate over 4 days, right? Because it's collecting in the background. Matters, let me ask you. In the span of 5 days, how much Syndicate can be gained free to play? You guys tell me out in the chat. What is your daily? Mine is really high. I'm not allowed to give you the numbers, Silvertab. I'm not allowed to give you the numbers, Silvertab. That's why I can't. Okay, I don't want to violate any trust. But I think, okay, free to play says 48,000. Balabom says I get 100,000 a day. See, I'm up there, 50,000 a day. Savage Darkness says 48,000 a day. Are you saying per day 48,000? 75,000 certainly says depends on choices. 75 a day. Jeefboo says 100 a day. Somebody else says 60 a day. Bartel says 20 a day. All right, or
What ops is Bartel?
Bartlett, what's your ops level?
What ops is Bartel?
Burton says 23 a day. Jorg says 24 a day.
More like.
All right. Well, let me just tell you, if you're in the 20s per day, you might miss on the very top of the heroic milestone. But you'll get 4 out of 5. All right. And for any of you who said 50 plus, if you're doing 50 plus per day, you're done. As a matter of fact, I would be willing to bet that you guys that are saying 100K a day, when you get to day 5, it's just going to be auto-completed. Now, this is why, Tarpy, I think that they're either going to have to fix it or we're going to have to adjust the milestones for next time. Obviously, the heroics weren't meant to be. I don't think that the writer of this event anticipated that it was going to go back in time. You know what I'm saying? I don't think that was expected. That being said, it's great that it does. And I would be okay raising some of these milestones to make them a little bit more heroic. And again, I'm going to talk about that here coming up. Their design intent, which is not going to hold true, their design intent was 60% free to play, 40% heroic. That is not going to hold true. It's probably going to be 90% free to play, 10% heroic. All right, if I had to guess. All right. I am okay with them shifting that closer to what they wanted, even if it was like an 80-20 or 75-25. I'm okay with that. Okay. But the fact that this mechanic is here and knowing the way that it's working is completely fine. And it's great, actually. It's superbly wonderful for the players. And even if they go and they increase some of the milestones next time they run this to compensate for the fact that it actually has been running in the background all 7 days that they probably didn't anticipate, I'm okay with that. Syndicate is going to be fine. Not heroic for probably 60 to 70% of you out there. Here's an interesting one. It says reputation. I'm going to tell you the 5 levels of reputation that it's going to give, not numbers. But the first one is going to be FKR reputation. That one makes sense. These are big numbers, okay? I I'm going to give my chat a secret hint. How many of you guys have not done your Swarm, your NSEA Sunday yet?
Me? Oh, the NSCA, yeah. Too late.
Okay. If you haven't done your NSEA Sunday, you've got to go in and kill 250 hostiles anyway. I might suggest instead of doing it with the loot goblin ones, go ahead and hit the reputation one. Yeah, because it's a bunch. Although, if it's been collecting dailies and all that stuff for the last 6 days, it might not be a bunch either. Gosh, I don't know now that I think about it over 6 days. Yeah, everybody's going to be fine with 42 million, right?
Million with an M?
Yeah. What about 90? What about 92 million? You fine with that?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's 2 hostiles.
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
about 1.5 billion?
Does this scale for ops?
It does scale
One
for
trip.
ops. 1.5 billion.
Now you hit
1 trip.
a
Okay.
little less than I get for my daily.
Okay. Well, then you
And
guys are
that's-
fine.
And that's
But-
with collecting all of your other dailies, right? Because you can.
No,
collect-
Wolfwood says G4 ain't going to be fine with that. Well, lucky for you, that was the Op 70 number. Okay.
Okay, good.
Yeah. So it
Oh,
does scale
neat.
down. All right. Here we go. Gain reputation in the Bajoran faction.
What if you're max?
Ah, good question.
You have to buy more
What if you're
because I left that button.
that button is still there and it will still accumulate. And yes, that's why I was telling you. That's why I'm telling you, okay? This is why I've been authorized to share this with you. It will say gain reputation with Bajoran. You still have to click the button. All right.
Ooh.
Is that why they've left it this whole time?
No, I'm sure that's not why they left it. Okay, I'm sure that's not
Wow.
why they left it, but it
Happy
does.
Not
accident.
all of why.
It
What a happy
does.
little tree accident,
Listen,
Bob Ross.
it's not BS. That's why I'm telling you. Listen, it's not just for the advanced players. There are younger players that don't have it either. How about rogue reputation?
Wow.
Ex-Borg
Can you even
reputation. All right, it might be a tiny bit lame. All right, might be a teeny tiny bit lame, but it's meant for everybody. Yes, I did say rogue and ex-Borg. All right. Now the good news is those numbers are pretty daggone small. All right, and if you've been, you know what? Here's your hint. Today's only day 3, right? This doesn't come
Yep.
till day 5, so you might as well go ahead, go in there, and just click it. Click it with your mastery or whatever it is that you need to click, and then it'll be auto-completed by the time it rolls around. See? Peekaboo sneak peeks for my team. Yay!
Question.
A peekaboo sneak peek.
Question.
Yeah.
Is it 5 or 6 or 7 days worth of rep that you need to accumulate, or is
No.
it 1 day
But Jordan
or 2 days?
you guys are going to get me in trouble.
'Cause
Actually, you
if
know what?
it's 7 days-
no, it's fine. I'm going to tell you these because they're silly. I don't think that I think they really just didn't want me to go into like a lot of detail with syndicate and materials and things like that. So that's fine. I'm going to tell you.
Yeah.
Bajoran is going to need a total of
Back.
what? No, I'm not doing anything. 1,500.
Blame me, Beck. I'm asking questions.
Wait, is Beck here? Is she yelling at me? No.
I don't know.
1,500 Bajoran rep.
Okay.
That's less than a
So
single
I
point.
basically, yeah, I just wanted to make sure that we shouldn't have been doing Bajoran rep every day for 4 days, and we weren't going to get
Retrieving
to
says
the
there's
end
no
of this and
augment
be grumpy.
You're right. Retrieving says there's no augment rep and mastery. You got to go back into the augment chest and actually click the chest. Isn't that crazy?
You can't if you've mastered.
can't,
the
though.
body bit.
Yes, you can.
But you didn't say augment. You said rogue.
Yeah,
Oh,
I did say
rogue,
rogue.
okay.
I did say
The,
rogue.
the next button over. Stella one,
And-
not Botany
yeah.
Bay one.
Rogue.
Rogue
Okay.
rep is easy. In the export store, there's a claim.
There you go.
Just claim the efficiency of the export
Terran's
store.
store?
You get 96,000
There you go.
Is that one in Terran's
Well,
store
you
too?
only need 4,000 for that one.
export.
Ex-Borg rep. You need 175. See? Not
Okay, that's
heroic.
not bad.
Not heroic.
I can't
But
believe you
also
couldn't
not
last
daily.
2 more minutes.
Oh, God, Voltron, you scared the pee out of
Here
me.
she comes. Here she comes.
All right.
Hi, Beck.
Oh, see, that's what I'm saying. the writer of this put a lot of thought into it. I know that the power was off on day 2. I get that. He fixed it. He made it a multiplier of 10. Yes. Okay. That being said, everything else was thought out pretty daggone well. You have the repairs, which we caught and fixed. That was a small bug, but it did stick out at me, and it's fixed for tomorrow. So you 60 and 61 will be able to use regular titanium in your repairs. The rest of these milestones, I don't see a problem. I looked at every single one. I'm looking at the materials. The materials don't look bad to me. All right, it doesn't. Let me see if I can find the highest one for G6. Yeah, this is. You guys are going to get me in trouble.
Don't get yourself in trouble.
I'm not.
Just tell them, don't worry.
I'm telling you, don't worry.
It's not nothing.
I am not. As a matter of fact, don't worry. You're fine. Even G4s, even G4s are going to be fine. This is not going to end up being heroic. The only thing, truthfully, that I think is going to end up being heroic, honestly, is the power gain and possibly the Borg solos. So if that holds true, Griffin, then we're looking at like 90% free to play, 10%.
I love that.
10% heroic.
That's right in the mix of what we like to see.
That is going to be good. Now, it's not what they intended, which means it'll probably be adjusted for next time. Okay. But that is still a great event. Now, I want to come back to the rewards. Tarpy started talking about this a little bit ago, and I'm going to ask her to break it down a little bit more. Tarpy, the rewards for this, and you don't need exact numbers, but you were a little bit concerned because the Flash Pass had these tokens. Last time they did choice tokens, it ended up being a little bit short, but we're not there this time because the Flash Pass is giving these snow globes. Yep. And because the event store has these drop buckets, and by the way, the limits have been increased from 40 now to 100, in case anybody did not know that. All right. They are limit 100 now. I mean, you
per
can.
Ops.
Huh?
Per ops.
Per ops.
So if you go up in ops, it refreshes.
It refreshes. Even better.
Ooh.
All right. Ooh.
At least it did before the limit increase.
All right. So you come in here, and this is what I observed, Tarpy, was it was pretty much going to be resources and materials. You and I kind of talked very briefly the other day. This does not look like it's going to be a big thing for officer shards. All right. I would love if officer shards were a bigger part of this, but it's clearly not. All right. Clearly what we're seeing here is resources and materials, but the addition of one very important thing that got eliminated from the dailies. That's right. Latinum. Yeah.
Oh my God. It's so good for Latinum. It is so good. It is so good.
So
and with the chance of more.
So,
that was fantastic.
I might point out that if this does become the new daily model, obviously they're going to probably change the event store and so forth. I don't know. All right. But if this becomes somewhat of a new model, then there's your Latinum. All right. We could probably go in and I had suggested adding the Ultras and the Officer XP back to the Pinnacle events, but they could do it here and it would be fine.
So, yeah, the only request that I have is, can you go play defense with my mom real quick? Thanks. We just got back to my mom's house because I'm out of town and my husband needs to play defense with my mom while I'm getting out of the car.
I need you to go play with Mom right now. She's
listen, she just came out to check out our car.
You can't play hungry hippos with only one person. You gotta have
you
two.
Can.
You need
He's
two
very
people.
lonely.
You can.
Two.
The only request that I had for this in G6 is the speed ups that they have as a chance pull to be made into Sigma speed ups in G6 instead of regular speed ups, because it would just be a nice little, here you go, G6. Have 3 1-hour Sigma speedups instead of 3
Yeah.
1-hour regular speedups.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see that
Like-
being a thing. Yeah.
But otherwise, it's fantastic. Especially you have a guaranteed pull of lat. Plus, if you don't get an officer shard, you get another like 80% or 70% pull chance of more lat. So it's like, depending on the officers that are in those buckets, I was also fine with just getting more lat and more materials. Like that's just going to make my progression go faster.
Yeah, there wasn't a huge punishment, I guess, based on the officers that you would choose as compared to the resources that you would want, right? The materials that you would want.
Yeah.
So if you wanted dilithium and gas, you could do that and still get a bunch of latinum and not necessarily be as concerned with the officers. And that's kind of what I had noticed, was that the officers are definitely not the focus of this store. They're a nice little bonus, but they're not the focus of this store. All right. Daystro says, my math can't be right on how much lat we could get. It probably is, dude. I mean,
lot.
we're talking hundreds of millions free to play.
Yep. Depending on your ops. Like obviously it scales per ops, but
Sure.
like just with the flash pass or the officer flash pass, going back to my spreadsheet for ops 62, it was for the free track a minimum of 6 million lat at 62. With the overflow, which actually gives more tokens, again, just the officer flash pass, you were looking at another 7 million lat. So free to play if you complete all the milestones of just the officer flash pass, completely ignoring the Boldly Go events. At Op 62, you get 13 million lat in a period of 4 days or 5 days or whatever that officer flash pass is.
Now, what we had...
That's insane.
Yeah, that is insane. Now, let's change that math up a little bit. 48,000 tokens was what we figured that you would need for 200 pulls, right? Am I correct in that? We did this math on Tuesday before they changed the limits. But if I'm not mistaken, 200 pulls was fueled by roughly 48,000 tokens. How are you guys
Something like that, yeah.
How are you guys looking right now? I've got 30,000 tokens. And
I'm at 33, 35
Okay.
is what I'm at.
So do we think that most people are probably going to pull 48,000? That would be 200 pulls. Okay, and I know that they changed the limits, but when I did math, I did it based off 200 pulls. Took 48,000. Okay, at my ops, which is not the same for everybody, I am going to assume that I only have a 50% pull on the Latinum, which, by the way, we know is, what, 70 or 80%, Tarpy? Is that right?
No. You get a guaranteed amount, and then you have a bucket of additional maybe.
That's right. And that bucket of additional maybe is 70, right? 70%?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So I'm going to assume a 50% draw rate.
No. It's 10%.
On Latinum?
Yeah.
Yeah, 70% for the.
They tell you what it is.
Well, tell me what it is. So it's only 10% for Latinum?
It's 10% for the big bonus of Latinum. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So you have a 10% chance of pulling it.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to go with a 0% chance of pulling it.
Yeah.
Seems fair.
And I am at 40 million Latinum.
Yeah.
Yep.
40 million Latinum. And 0% on the lucky Latinum pulls.
Wait, which bundle does this lucky Latinum appear in?
Any of the 3 for materials. Any of the 3 for materials. Now, I do have, it's just for the materials only, okay? Now, I do have a quick announcement for you regarding the one for the avatar and frame, okay? All kinds of exclusive information for you tonight because I've been too lazy to write a post. Actually, I'll tell you what I was doing today. I was too lazy to write a post because I've gotten 2 out of 3 of my Bahamut videos done. That's what I was working on.
Don't get sidetracked. Don't get sidetracked.
Dude, they're hard to make. I give Griffin a lot of grief, but it took me about 8 or 9 hours today to do 17 minutes worth of video.
What should have been about 6 minutes worth of video.
No.
So you have another 8 or 9 hours to go to chop it in half again.
No, I'm not chopping it in half again. I've separated 2 videos. I got one video that's 10 minutes and one video that's 7 minutes. And the next video is probably going to be a little bit shorter.
We're going to need them to each be 90 seconds, please.
No, why? No, they got to be at least a few minutes to put them on YouTube. Why would you? Why put a 90-second video on YouTube? That's dumb. Is that
For
dumb?
the same reason why I dreaded going over to Grandpa Hunter's house every Monday night for family night while he pulled out the slide projector and I had to watch 4 hours of flipping slides
It's
on the
10
wall
minutes.
from things that I didn't go to, didn't care about, didn't see with my own eyes. And look, yes, Grandpa, the Golden Gate Bridge is in fact very beautiful. Please, can I see it from another angle? Because 32 just isn't enough.
You know, then you don't have to watch it, you son of a biscuit. You don't have.
In fact, I had to watch it. You wouldn't start the show until I watched it.
Only one of them. I have the second one that you haven't
That's
watched yet.
Great. Yeah, wait.
Wait, you don't even want to watch them?
Of course I want to watch them. I just want to watch I want to watch the 4-minute version.
Well, the next one's only 7. How's that? Is that better?
Okay, we'll see. We'll see. I have notes.
He took notes on the 10-minute one. He was like, okay, that should be 4 minutes.
Do I need to see 7 seconds of the food at the buffet? I'm not eating the food at the buffet. I could do it 2 seconds of the food at the buffet.
Come on, man. Anyway. All right. Super special. Yeah, watch it on 2x speed, says engineer. Brilliant. Done.
Oh, no. Half of the video is already on 2x speed.
I think I
Of him getting
full-bought
off
this.
the boat,
Not
walking
half-
down the long
not
path
half-
and showing all the signs on the way in case you're ever there yourself. All that is so if I were to put that on 2x speed, it would then be on 4x speed. And then I would be very dizzy.
I could actually that clip could come out, but I'm not going to because I've already uploaded it and finished it, and it's on YouTube now, so I'm not gonna. Anyway, all right. Resolution.
See, now look what you've done. You forgot what you're talking about.
I did
You're talking
forget what I was-
about the event store, the
Event store.
resolution accolade bucket, and there's something to talk about in there.
Resolution accolade. This bucket. All right, the one that has the frame and the projectile and all that stuff. All right. It is oddly still showing a limit of 50. But probably because of the shards that are in here, okay? And you should probably already have some shards and blah, 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 blah. Anyway, all right, there will be, for players who have unlocked the projectile, all right? By the way, if you haven't actually unlocked it, this will not apply. Even if you've earned the total number of shards, you've got to go unlock it, okay? If you have unlocked the projectile, then there is a new bundle that will show up called Resolution Accolade 2 that will remove the projectile shards and increase the rates for the avatar and frame. This will only be visible to players who have unlocked the projectile, and it'll increase the odds of Latinum speed-ups, the frame, and the avatar. Okay? And it's only visible to Ops 20+ who have already unlocked the New Year's projectile. Okay? There you go.
Cool.
Just letting you know. Just letting you know. Okay? That's right. It went from 9 to 15%. That is actually, no, the avatar went from 3 to 9, and the frame went from 5 to 15. Is what it is. Joe.
All right.
Okay. So there you go. That's the announcement on the accolade.
Are they not going to sell the projectile outright?
It's
I
in
think they are.
It's in the battle pass, isn't it?
I think I already bought
Not
it.
all of it.
How much is
Is
in
it
the
all of it?
I don't know. Well, hold on. So how many are in the battle pass? You only need 25 in the battle pass if you're going to buy 50 of them in the event store. Plus, there were some that were available in leaderboards. All right. So
That was a
That was not the
different
other.
project.
That was the
a
other
different one. All right. So
Yeah.
how many are
That was the
available
sleigh bells
in
one.
the battle pass?
You get 25 in the battle pass.
35.
The paid track of the battle pass.
There's
25.
35.
Is there 35?
35.
35.
20 plus
Okay.
15.
35, which means it only takes 75, so you would need to spend another 35 in the event store. No, 40 in the event store if you want to have it. Is it any good? I haven't actually looked. Is it any good?
No.
No.
Increase
No.
mitigation stats by 20% of
Yeah,
base. Well, then
20%.
you just probably want it if it's pretty to you.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I told everyone not to pull that one.
Well,
know.
you could pull it 40 times if you want that
50.
projectile. 40. It's 35, and it costs 75 to unlock.
hmm
And it's
If you
guaranteed.
paid for it.
If you pay,
Well, yeah, but
if you
didn't-
paid
if you didn't
$10,
pay for the battle pass, then you can't even get it. If it's
yeah. If you
battle
didn't,
limit.
if you
Yeah.
didn't spend
Don't
$10, you
bother
can't
pulling
have it.
off.
Is there anything
Yeah.
in the overflow?
No.
Okay. Well, then you've got to spend $10, and you got to spend 40 pulls on it if you want it. Now that could actually be expensive, Tarpy, really, when you think about it, because 40 pulls in the other stores, that's a lot of mats. That's a lot of latinum.
Mhm.
Yep.
So that may not be worth it. I mean, for a vanity item. Just throwing that out there.
Yeah.
I mean,
not.
look how hard people went for that sleigh bells projectile with those
I
SLBs.
know.
Not me.
It was
Not me.
funny.
I mean, it was a bit better. What was it? Apex or isolated defense?
I don't know.
5%?
Yeah.
It was
Yeah,
5%
that's right.
isolatic defense, yeah.
Not great.
We
but
are
better
famed.
than 20% base negation.
Well, now here's the thing. And Lord Sunday says for an item, it should be free for the holidays. Well, there's a lot free here. And to be honest with you, I would rather have the materials and latinum than I would a worthless projectile. To be perfectly frank, Sunday. I mean, if I was picking what I want for free, it's going to be the valuable resources and materials, not the worthless projectile. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I would be angry if they threw that at us. as a
Yeah,
Christmas
if that was the free one.
But you get to pick.
Thanks for
That's
the
true.
call.
That's true.
But you get to pick.
You do get to pick. All right. Lord Sunday says, I
Yeah.
want a guarantee for the avatar. Well, you do get not a guarantee for the avatar. Yeah, you get a guarantee on the projectile. The avatar is not a guarantee. Poof. How much does that cost to unlock?
Well, you only get it once.
Yeah.
Like, you can only get it once, though.
Oh, you don't have to unlock shards. It's okay.
No.
It's not shards, so you can just like get lucky and get it. So if you pull 40 times, the New Year's frame, oh god, it's only a 3% chance though.
I got it on the second try. It'll happen.
You say that, but it's a 3% chance, bro.
I'm telling you.
Scary.
It's a
Scary.
3% chance, but if you're pulling that 40 times, that's, I mean, not
You're still
everyone
not
is definitely
guaranteed to
going
get
to
it.
get it, but no, you're not
Oh.
guaranteed to get it, but a fair
Even
number
Bubba
of
Joe would
people
get
are going
that.
to get it.
Bubba Joe would not get that.
He would get that.
Bubba Joe would not. All right. I know the engineering says this is the one that people want. It is the that drone avatar is pretty. It's pretty dope. All right. I mean, it's pretty nice. Yeah,
Give
I
me the
kinda like it.
sparkles.
I know it's nice. It's very, very cool. All right, so there you go. That is the Boldly Go event series, and really truthfully, barring a couple of adjustments and a couple of tweaks for next time mechanically, this is another great new mechanic that has presented in December. I'm telling you, I'm cautious, and this is, I said this because when I got back from vacation, people thought that maybe I was going to be too rosy-cheeked about it. But, I mean, you're looking at the Boldly Go series. You're looking at the way that they did the not the event store, but help me out. What was the other thing that we were bragging on just a few minutes ago? Oh, the new daily system with ahead of the curve. I mean, I am not disappointed with the new mechanics that I've seen. You know what I'm saying?
The last few months have been good for that and have been pretty good for quality of life.
Yeah. Divine says, well, the lag and bugs have balanced it out. Well, that's possibly true. So true, in fact, that arenas have indeed been canceled, and they are still not going to happen tomorrow. Okay, so
it's going to be a few weeks.
Yeah, it's going to be a couple of weeks. Unfortunately, they're not back in the office yet, which is why I don't think that we're going to see any changes in ahead of the curve. Even though I would love to see some changes in it, it's not going to come this first time. It's probably going to take one more run before we get to make any changes in that. And same for if we end up seeing Boldly Go again, which I think that we will. I really do think this was an experiment, and I hope we do see it again. Jondrel says, I'm not shedding any
Boldly
tears.
Go as the New Year's celebration?
Yes. Yeah. New Year's
That
celebration.
5-day arco, we're definitely going to see. And you didn't even talk about my favorite feature of that whole thing,
Which is
how it took me a half an hour of toiling and wringing my hands trying to figure out why I did not get the points for the tritanium mining on day one, because I mined like 80,000 and it said that I only needed like 8,000.
no.
And then
Okay. All
they
right.
dropped off half of the zeros on every
Yeah,
single damn one.
It's truncated. Now this it's truncated.
What the hell?
All right, hang on. First of all, I did have an opportunity to speak to the event designer about this. He I have to be careful in what I say. Hey, Andy Hoosier, thanks for the 26-month resub. So here's what happened. Engineering handed this over.
What had happened was
engineering handed this thing over, and this has a limited number of characters in that there's a string length. All right, if you want to get nerdy about it, coders, there's a string length, and the string represents obtained / goal. Those are the fields.
This.
Obtained / you want the explanation in
Chipmunk voice. Okay, fine. The length of the string. This is terrible, Balabop. The length of the string was X, and inside X number of characters, you had to fit objective obtained / objective. So, if you look at the daily login, or you look at the number of hostiles, those are relatively few numbers, so they displayed properly. But when you're talking about mining hundreds of thousands, or if you're talking about power, which is in the millions, by the way, they ran out of characters. There's not enough characters. As a matter of fact, let's determine now, class, how many characters is the string. And by the way, you can't add a K or an M or a B, not the way that it's coded currently, all right? Because it's a set length. It's truncated because if the numbers extend beyond the length, then it just gets cut off. You can't add the K's, B's, or M's with the way that it is currently coded because it wasn't coded for large numbers of objectives. This is also convinces me that this is supposed to be the new daily. All right, because it was meant for smaller numbers. All right. So, let's do a fun experiment, class. Let's guess how long the string
I
is.
think I foolbot this.
All right, no, we got this. How long is the string? Johnny 5 says 11 characters. Well, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. It is 11. And it's... It's 11. The string is only 11 characters long. So let's look at power. All right. Right here, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Oh, there's 12 on the power one. Wait, did I count wrong? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. There's 12 on the power one, which means it's different. It's different on different screens. It's 12 on the power screen. Oh, dear God in heaven. Let's see. Let's count again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That one's 11. Why is that one 12? I am very confused.
enough of that. All right. It is simply, Griffin. It's simply that they truncated it because the string is only 12 or 11. Might be 12, might be 11. Depends on what field you're looking at. Look, this one's 12. 1, 3, 2, 0, 9, 2. That's 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That one's 12. Why? Why is that one 12? Why is that one 12 and this one's 11? It got everybody. Retrieving says that I don't think it's a character length. It's a physical text box width limit. If that were the case, wouldn't we see some trace of partial numbers being displayed. If it was truly a fixed width, then we would see partial numbers. Like we wouldn't see an entire number. I think that it is characters. I think it's characters. Bob says, why aren't they both 20? Because
why are you trying to rationalize this in the first place? It's a half an hour of time that I completely wasted for no reason,
right, fine.
trying to figure out a stupid answer to a stupid problem that shouldn't exist in the first place.
I was just giving you the answer to your query. You asked the question. I gave you the answer.
What's up with that?
So again, like I said, a couple of tweaks. All right? Couple of tweaks, but mechanically, it's pretty fantastic. All right, questions. What? I don't really want to go into December's arc because I feel like all the great stuff of the arc happened after the arc. How did you guys finish up with the event store? I don't even know if I spent my event store loot now that I think about it. Oopsies. Is that still open?
No.
Yep.
Nope.
No? Okay, no.
Yep. Yeah, it's open. It's open. It's open. Okay, good. Go spend your loot just in case. It's open for 2 more days. And it looks like I did spend my loot. I spent mine on officers.
The hell?
Yeah.
I spent mine on officers.
You're a catalyst.
Get that French Marshal going.
I did mariachi, and then I spent a little bit on beer. I didn't spend any on Marshall.
You didn't spend on Marshall?
No.
I have another question
I didn't spend any on Marshall.
after this.
I probably should have.
Wow.
I didn't.
You should have.
I spent all mine on beer.
Silver tab.
That seems typical for you.
They didn't paywall Boldly Go. Come on. Boldly Go is 90. Yeah, I'm not. I can't get behind that one, Silver tab. I did.
Do you know if the
unlock-
next?
Huh?
Do you know if the next mini flash pass will have the same currency?
No idea.
Because they're doing another.
I know they're doing
flash
another
pass
one.
too.
I know they're doing another one, but I don't know if it's going to have the same currency simply because Boldly Go is ending at the same time as the Battle Pass. So I do not.
When's
Actually,
the
that's
event
not
store
true.
close?
That's not true.
Yeah, when's the event store close? It's like another 8 days or something, right?
Let's see. 5 days.
Which event
4 and-
store?
4
There's
and a half
3
days.
different event stores running right now.
Hang on.
The big
New
one.
Year's
Yes, Griffin,
celebration.
all of them.
Ooh, they might run it again. New Year's celebration's got 14 days left on it. Boldly
sure does.
Go.
Wow.
has-
How big
but
is right
here's-
there? That's
here's what's
impressively
weird.
large.
Boldly Go has 4 days left on it, and the Battle Pass is over in like 12 hours. So are they going to run another Flash Pass that's only going to be half the length of Boldly Go?
But guess what this also overlaps with?
What?
Now that they're leaving the
What?
event store open that long. Yeah, Griffin got it.
What?
Alliance tournaments.
Alliance tournament.
All you G6 people. All you G6 people.
Don't spend your tokens. Don't spend your tokens. Don't spend your tokens. Don't spend your tokens. Vic says, can we hit all the Boldly milestones if we skip the heroics? No, there is the perfect number of points available. But this is why, and I didn't get a chance to talk about this earlier, this is why I'm okay with this being partially heroic. And you guys can correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think everything should always be free all the time. But here's the deal. These milestones all award the same things. And they're awarding very large numbers of these snow globes. All right. I would think if you avoid the heroics, you're probably going to get 8 milestones. Okay. Lord Sunday says, so I can't afford to miss the Borg Polygon. Well, not if you're wanting to finish it. All right. But you don't have to finish it. All right. If you don't finish it, then you're just missing that top milestone, which means that you would lose 3,200 snow globes. But you still have like 40,000 or 50,000 of them. So, like, is it that big of a deal? You know what I'm saying? Like honestly, if we're talking 50,000 snow globes is what people think they're going to get. And we're talking that last milestone up there is 3,200 snow globes. All right. Maybe the milestone 9 is 3,200 snow globes. So we're talking 6,000 snow globes is what you might miss if you skip the heroics. And this is why I'm somewhat okay with this, because all the way up, you're getting the same rewards. All the way up, you're getting resources, materials of choice. You're getting Latinum. You're getting a handful of officer shards, okay? But yes, for For those of you who do need the completion, Lord Sunday, then it requires the completion of 100% of events. Cruzito says you can do the top milestone if you miss a few. No. My math indicated that the exact number of milestone points was present. All right, exactly 2,240. That is all 5 days of all these points equals 2,240. If you skip a heroic, you will not hit the top milestone. All right. So,
Yep.
Savage Darkness says, redo the math. The daily amounts you counted are non-heroic amounts. Wait, what? Really? So right here, it says 460 milestone points. Like if I click on day 4's preview and it says 440 milestone points, that doesn't include the heroics? Are you serious? If that's the case, that is awesome. 440 come from non-heroic. Well, you know what? I will be able to verify that since I have the spreadsheet for tomorrow. Give me just give me one.
Oh, wow.
Just give me a stinking second here, please. All right, non-heroic. You guys count them out with me because I'm not gonna remember. 10, 10, 20, 20, 10, 10, 40, 10, 20, 40. Those are all not labeled heroic. Here's an 80 that's labeled heroic and a 120 that's labeled heroic. 10, 20, 40, and then another 40 that's labeled heroic. So how many is that? How many was not heroic? Retrieving says, nope, it's going to require heroic. I knew it. You guys quit messing with my math. I knew I was right. All right? I counted all these guys. The exact number of points. The exact number of points is present in each day's milestone. If you skip a heroic, you will not get it. Now, the good news is they don't go away. Okay? The good news is they don't go away. You can go back and you can pick them up. Corey says, my peep said all must be completed. That is correct. All right. Durgetti says that equals to we can't do it math. Maybe.
Okay.
Can you
least
share
you're
that spreadsheet with me at some
No,
point?
sure can't.
Once all of the. Okay. I was hoping to not have to do most of it myself.
Sorry. No, I've been sworn to secrecy because there's a lot of data in here. Sorry.
Even after all the stuff has come out?
Probably not. There's a bunch of stuff in here.
Yeah, okay.
Sorry, super spreadsheet secret business. All right.
All
right. Yeah, listen, when I at Retrieving says the total points is 2,230. No, it's not. It's 2,240. It actually was 2,210 the other day, and they added 30 points to day 5. In all fairness, it was off by 30 points, and they just added 30 points to the last day. Whew. Okay, so there you go. If everything works properly, then you will only have 2,240 points possible, and that's that. Okie doke. So that would include that would be including all the heroics. You got to do the heroics. Retrieving says they missed 10 points. All right, I'll double check it later. Because it was supposed to be that it was when I counted it up on day 1, it was 30 points short. And they added 30 points to the last milestone. So something has changed in the meantime. Silvertap says, yeah, I picked up on 2210. Yeah, I did too. And then they added 30 seconds or added 30 points to the last day. So now how are they still 10 points short? Did I also do it wrong? Possible. All right, listen, we're going to take a break. When we come back, Griffin gets to lead the second half of the show. He wants to review 2024, and he wants to do it better than the GM and the roadmap director did. Because that video was an interesting watch. We're gonna leave it right there at that. It was an interesting watch, Griffin. But I do think that there were some highs and lows of 2024. I think that there were some good things. I think that there were some bad things. And ironically, the things that we thought were good and bad didn't exactly line up with the GM of the company. We're going to examine our highs and lows, our 2024 in review, coming up on the other side of this break. My name is Ultimate DJs, and this is Talking Trek Live, Star Trek Fleet Command's official podcast, and we will return right after this cool song because I don't have commercials loaded. Yay!
Yeah, bunks and ranks. Viking. Hey, hey, hey. Yo. Hey, hey, hey. Million carnival of a contract. Every year we go hard like nail, lie on the road with truck bigger than humpback wheels. So take a thumbtack with calendar and just mark that date. Cause when you see them through this come around, this time is my time to jump on. My time to run, boy. My time to get something and get on back on this long road. Moving with my soul. Sending vines to all we like, now we but 40 strong. Who on the left, who on the right, we going out to town. My relatives, they want the line, but I tell them, see you when I come back. This time I will come back late, going from morning till last lap away from that street. Hold your right, work hard, you don't know how long I wait. So when you see them do this come around, this time is my time to jump on. My time to run, boy. My time to get something and get on back on this long road. Moving with my soul.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to the show. My name is Ultimate DJs. This is Talking Trek Live, Star Trek Fleet Command's official podcast. And that was Carnival Contract by, I know I'm not going to say this name right, Bungie Garland, I believe is what it was right there. And everybody was bebopping. Everybody was bebopping in the chair, Griffin. It was a fantastic song. I even saw Griffin was dancing. Griffin was dancing. I saw him.
How could you not? Number one with a bullet.
Yeah, that was fantastic. Caledon says, all right, DJs, before you start, Do you have any idea why the heck Polygon Armadas are so hard and why they are so broken? We have group Armadas failing, no battle report, no nothing but lose directives. Okay, so don't use Toli and Tora, Toli on the bridge. Can't use those. They're broken. Okay? That is a fact. They are broken, so you can't use those officers. Right? Dejosh, Tora, and Toli. They are broken. All right. Tora by herself works fine. Yeah, I do think that it's Toli. I think it's Toli that's actually breaking it. Okay. That being said, if you're getting a partial with the Revenant ship, what does that mean? That means you didn't kill it inside 20 rounds. That means you got to punch down. It means you survived, but you didn't do enough damage. Okay? You've had them fail. Why are they so hard? First of all, why are they so hard? Well, we wanted a hard target, A. B, it's actually very well written, okay? Mathematically, Jules Verne has actually done some math on this thing, and we've seen it in practice. They are supposed to be hard, okay? What you are seeing is that up until about level 50 of those Armadas, you can do it with a tier 1, or sorry, not a tier 1, but a Mark 1 Revenant. You are not punching above 50 until you have Mark 2s. Just not gonna, and they require the Revenant. Absolutely. If you bring, listen, I could bring one Revenant, and I could bring 4 Revenants, and then I could bring a level 70s big Enterprise E. Guess what? The Enterprise E does nothing other than soak up loot. This target requires the Revenant. No ifs, ands, or buts about it, no questions asked, that is it. If you bring anything other than a Revenant, you are hurting your team. Okay? 50 and down. 50 and down, Mark 1. I don't know what it goes up to for Mark 2 because I'm not there yet. I'm not sure. I have not played with anybody who's Mark 3 or higher. But as Jules pointed out, there's some risks in advancing. Griffin, have you experienced that? Have you been struggling with what you can hit as compared to what you're able to hit with your team, so to speak?
No. Once you're in a Mark 4, you can pretty much close out the loop. But bring him one along.
4.
He's a Mark 4.
Yeah.
He's a Mark 4.
At Mark 2, like right now mine's tier, I think 7. Like I have no problem with the solos. I'm easily hitting what I need to be able to do the double pull, despite it being really expensive. The polys though, like the group Armadas are. I mean, I can single pull them. I just can't get enough loot to do.
Well,
the
that's
doubles.
the pitfall. That's the pitfall.
Yeah.
Is that loot table. So Cruzito says Mark 2 is probably 54, maybe 56. I mean, that's where I'm at. I'm Mark 1, but I am tier 5. I'm holding as I recommend you all do. Jules Verne called it out. The math holds, and we got a hold of somebody over in game design who has agreed to reevaluate and look at this. But they're out of the office. All right. So my opinion is do what I'm doing. I'm at Mark 1, tier 5, and I'm going to hold there until they get back into the office because I'm not willing to not pull my refinery chest. I'll wait a couple of days and just keep pulling what I'm pulling now. All right. Roy Rogers says at Mark 2, 54s are relatively easy. 56s can be doable with buffs. That's fair. And that's kind of what I was thinking. Mimi says I'm wrong on that, but I cannot kill above a 50. Basically, when it goes from like 50.0 to 50.1 or the 52.1 or whatever it is, that's where I die. That is the cut point. All right. So I can't go above that. All right. Retrieving, God bless it. He says, hot take, daily events shouldn't require a paywalled ship. That's going to be, I am chalking that one up to being a heroic portion of the event. Okay? They're allowed to have a little bit of heroic. It's not free to play 100%. Okay? And listen, you're going to get way more free to play anyway, just because the event worked differently than what was planned. Then dailies aren't completable. It's not a daily! Retrieving. Fight me on that. Fight me. If anything, it's a weekly. All right. And even then, they came out and specifically said that their intention was 60% free to play, 40% heroic. It's going to be more generous than that. All right. But
And
that was their
retrieving,
intent.
you can do day 1 stuff on day 3. You can do day 3 stuff right now on day 1. It's not you know that you're just arguing to argue.
Yes,
at that
he is
point.
arguing to argue.
Yeah.
Lloyd says, you think this will be the new daily? No, not this exact thing. I think this is the
The
mechanic.
interface.
Yeah, I
the
think this
interface,
is
the mechanic.
This is a mechanic. Okay. All right. I think this is the mechanic of the new dailies. Retrieving.
yeah,
Oh my God.
it-
Are you guys seriously going to fight with me about this right now? Jesus criminy. I did not say this event identically is going to be the new dailies. I said this is the mechanic that is going
The
to be the new
vehicle
dailies.
in which it will arrive.
Yes. This is going to
We are
be the
testing
way
it out.
dailies look.
Mwah. Mwah. You're the best.
Thank you, Rach.
Mwah. Give me hugs and kisses.
Retrieving, you're raising my blood pressure. Why? Why? Okay, anyway.
Well, to be fair, it's the sack of Oreos that you ate earlier that raised your blood pressure.
I did not.
retrieving.
I have actually, I'm on day 2, day 3, what day did I start? Thursday? Thursday, I started. So I'm on day 3, Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
I am
day
so
4.
positive. I'm full of positive energy.
I'm on day 4 of a ridiculous cleanse. It's been terrible. Man, I just want to eat a waffle with peanut butter.
I would have more faith in you if you had known exactly where you were, because when you're really taking a cleanse seriously, you know how many minutes it's been.
Listen, I mean,
It's like being in jail.
well, I just know it's 21 days, dude. I know what the end of
Okay.
it is. 21 days. So yeah, I didn't know what day I was on, but that's just because it's oh, stop it, Juby. He's like, oh, this pizza's delicious.
I am so positive. I'm full of positive energy.
Thank you, Wade, for your positive energy. Okay, now I wanted to get into Griffin's rating of the year, but very quickly, I am being told, Griffin, that this math can't possibly be right. So let's add it up, shall we? We're going to do this very, very quickly. We're going back to the 2,240 thing because everybody's having a conniption. So I am currently at 730 points. I have not completed. Out of day 1 daily login, I'm missing 60 points, okay? Day 1 mining, I've got all those. Day 1 hostels, I am missing 80 points, all right? So that means 870 is what I would have. Day 2, ATAs, I am still missing 20, 40, 80. I'm missing 80 points there. I am missing a lot on power. Let's see, 120, 160, 190. I'm missing 190 because I haven't done any of the power ones. All right. Armadas, I am missing 40. All right. Day 3, I am missing 40 points.
What? Where have you been?
From social. On officers, I am missing 30 points. And on solo armadas, I'm missing 80 points. I just messed something up. Minus 1250 plus 80. Got it. I'm good. There we go. 1,330 points. Now, on day 4, there's supposed to be 440. And then on day 5, they say that there's going to be 460. Damn it. That's 2,230.
You're the worst.
Oh, no. So that means that I did the math wrong on the first day.
Terrible.
Crap. They've already changed it once. They're not going to change it again, man. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm sorry, community. This one's on me. This one's on me.
Yay, boy.
No! All right. Retrieving.
You're the worst. You're the
I think
actual
I
worst.
bought this.
I did foobar it. All right. You would think you'd see formula sum of all. I didn't. Huh?
I think I bought this.
In all fairness, it is their math to do. Yeah, but when I was looking at it on day 1, I said, "Hey, you need to add 30 points." So they're like, oh, "Okay, we'll add 30 points." That's what they did. Crap! Hold on. Sorry, I was wrong. You got to add 10 more points. Oh, now, I would say he's going to cuss me, but you know what? Hey, you could have done it too, man. You could have done it before I ever got to it. You know, you could have made it equal 2,240 points just as easy as I could have.
Probably easier.
Yeah, that's true. Don't impeach the cat. I didn't write the daggone event. Oh.
Impeach the cat.
That's right. Ryan says most content creators fight for the community. DJ's doing his best to make it worse. You know what? That last 10 points is going to wait. Pong says, no, DJ, you did it right. They only added 20, not 30 to the last milestone. See, I was right. Where's my button? I was right. Yay! I was right.
No. Who's Pong? Is that your alt account? How would Pong even know that?
First of all, Pong would know if he took a screenshot of what it was on day one.
Well, we need to see that screenshot.
Yeah. Pong, help me out. Help me out, Pong. Don't impeach me, Brigadier.
Brigadier, General.
Yes, Skippy, it's going to prevent you from completing everything.
Well, so are all the missing zeros in the first place. So, it adds up just fine.
It'll get fixed. So when I said they were 30 points short.
I'm full of positive energy.
When I said that they were, Silvertab says they had day 4's 450 originally. Wait, what? So they dropped it to 440, and then day 5 was 430, and they raised it 30. So wait, they raised it 30 and then dropped 10 out of day 4? What? So I was right. I said raise 30 points, and they said, okay, we'll raise 30 points. Then they took 10 points away. They dropped day 4.
This is pandemonium.
What?
This is pandemonium. This is all conjecture.
Wait, what?
None of this is factually relevant information.
It's Silvertab. Silvertab is science-y. He's got it right. Mm-hmm.
That's not even a word.
Science-y? Of course it is.
Yeah.
He's good.
Yeah, we need the receipts. We need the screenshots. We need the text. Exactly. You've been hitting the sauce.
What happened was...
You're all full of Jamaican rum.
What had happened was...
Did you get a drink package on the cruise?
We added 30 points. And then... Uh-oh. Wait, that was 10 points too many. And so we'll take it off. But it was 30 points. It was truncated to 3, then multiplied by 9, which is only 24 points. All right, I'm done with this. You see, what happened was... All right, so I was right.
God.
Thank you. Thank you, Silvertab. I appreciate you. Thank you. I appreciate you, sir. Thank you, sir. Are
you finished?
Yeah, no, I'm good. I'll work on the 10 points. Or maybe I won't, since I make everything worse. I'll try to get 10 more points removed.
After your next email, that's exactly what's going to happen.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are 2 hours in, which means that Griffin has exactly 7 minutes for his segment. Let's. I'm kidding. By the way, very quickly, Griffin is traveling to the mountain. Griffin is traveling to the mountain here in the next couple of weeks because we've got to shave head and eyebrows. And you're with us, right? What was the deal? You got out of it for some reason. Why did you get out of it?
I think because I
it's a patent list
contributed
video?
nearly half of the total of what was collected. We decided that it was unfair for me to
that's true.
go with shaving my own head.
Okay, that's fair. So you're coming, you're visiting the mountain though, because we are filming. Like, it's actually, Tarpy, you said you wanted accountability. Well, here it is. It is happening on January 7th. What else is happening? I want to remind everybody. I didn't think about this super well. January 7th, I'm getting my head and eyebrows shaved. January 17th, we'll be on the front page of Twitch. Yeah. On January the 17th, Griffin and I will be live on the front page of Twitch, which we're very, very excited about. It will also be my birthday. So, yeah, solid planning. I know. It's fantastic. Yeah, I'll be wearing a hat that entire time. Thank you, Caldon. We will be on the homepage of twitch.tv, so we're going to be doing some fun stuff. It's also going to be my birthday, so we should be doing some crazy stuff. And I will remind you, I haven't talked a lot about this, but for some of the milestones, Griffin, that we missed during the Christmas Angel Fund, I have a plan starting January 1st for some people to earn some of those in what I'm going to call a redemption milestone effort. Plus, we're going to be beginning. Is that even proper grammar? Not sure. We're going to be starting a brand new promotion for the first quarter, starting January 1st. So very, very excited about that. You guys stick around. Lots of winning. I'll just go ahead and tell you now, we've got up to $2,000 that we're going to be giving away. $2,000 that we're going to be giving away.
A lot of packs.
That's a lot of packs. $2,000 that we're going to be giving away in STFC game currency over the first 90 days of the year, starting it off strong. All right. So, yeah, that's right. $2,000 American. That's what we're going to be looking at doing over the first 90 days here inside STFC. That's like $5,000 Canadian, says Dr. Juby. Well, then we're giving away. Yeah, I know. Hunter says, what? Wait, what? StarCraft Ghost? No, Ghost Grape. And I don't know we don't play StarCraft. Can you send me a Kansas City Chiefs hat to wear? Sure, I'll wear it. All right, that'd be fine. So anyway, that will be, does that mean the first quarter will be light on STFC content? No, I don't see why it would be. That day, January 17th, is probably going to be a little lighter. We'll still do some STFC. We're probably going to do some other stuff too. But yeah, so we've got a bunch of stuff leading up. You got a chance to earn some extra milestones and win some STFC currency coming up over the next 90 days. It's going to be big. And mark it on your calendar. January 17th, we'll be live on the front page of Twitch. So it's going to be crazy that night. Very, very excited about it. So let's see. There was something else I was going to share. Oh, thank you. Very quickly, I'm just going to keep adding things before Griffin's segment because we haven't talked about this during the podcast, but you guys did $68,000 for the Christmas Angel Fund. $68,000. Thank you guys. For the children at Monroe Carroll Jr. Children's Hospital at Vanderbilt in Nashville, Tennessee, $68,000. That was big. Brigadier says, is this streaming on Twitch as well? Yes, we're simulcasting. We're TriCasting because we're live in Discord as well. And it'll be on podcast for a playback. So, yeah, thank you right now to the wow, we're up to like 400 people, Griffin. Wowzers. Yeah. Brigadier, thank you for the $3 sticker over on YouTube, for the sticker super chat. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Thank you. That's super awesome. Appreciate you.
We love that.
Yeah. So, and there's like almost 400 people watching. That's crazy. I didn't even see that. Anyway, yes, $68,000, which is just
that's
absolutely
over 110,000 in 2 years.
It is. We did 54,000 last year, 68 this year. That's like 112, right? Goodness gracious. You guys are incredible. And the QR code is still on the screen. Well, and I was just doing that for the dollar amount right there. So you can see it right there. $68,149.48. You guys did a fantastic job. Thank you guys so very, very much. Great. And we will be working on sending out the list, the email forms for you guys to get your signatures sent in for the Children's Hospital for the gaming carts, which is going to be very, very cool. All right. I am done with announcements. I'm sorry, Griffin. And that's all the time. That's all the time we've got for today. I'm kidding.
Yeah. Well, good night, everybody. It's nice to see you all. I was going to talk about the year in review, but I guess we don't have enough time.
We got time. Ladies and gentlemen.
Okay, never mind.
Listen, here just a couple of days ago, there was a roadmap video that was launched. They looked back at 2024. They also told us a little bit about 2025 and what's coming up there. And we could spend a little bit of time talking about that. We might save that for Thursday's show, potentially, because I do believe that we will not be in an arc this week. So Thursday will still be between the arcs. And I got to try to find a time to get caught up with Bubba Joe for the holiday edition. But we could break this up, Griffin. Let's take a look at the back, over the shoulder of 2024. That was how they started their video on the roadmap, by looking back on 2024, except they looked at really only 2 or 3 features. The 2 or 3 features were big, but one of them was basically a catastrophic failure. And it sounded, oh boy.
2024 STFC was bad. MK. Griffin thinks it was fine. MK. He gives it an 8 out of 9 and thinks he knows math. MK. Dongle MK.
Thank you, Dr. Juby. Appreciate that.
I got your dongle.
Yeah,
right here.
dongle. But they didn't look at the entire year. Okay. Did we have quality? Crazy? I think we had some quality. Let's take a look. Let's go all the way back to January of 2024. Griffin, what happened in January of 2024?
It was the year that was the Ultimate DJs. It was the best of times. It was the worst of times. We just come off the heels of a exciting December 2023 and the release of wonderful features such as the what's it called? You know, the
Wave defense.
Yes, the wave defense. The wave defense had just come out. Everybody's very happy, and we're looking forward to a new year to come, just as we are right now. And what comes out in January of 2024? While the last IP of Star Trek live action that had not yet been explored, which was Enterprise. Enterprise gave us the Xindi reptilian space, new loop. If we can get like a new loop counter here, that was new loop number 1.
All right.
We had an epic officer, Trip Tucker. Do we use Trip Tucker in today's game so much? No. And to Paul, definitely not. We had the export faction extension with buffs added to the faction store. That was good.
That was
we
good.
had the critical damage floor concept was introduced, DJ, in the month of January, which definitely helped some of the alleviate some of the problems in PvP.
It didn't. It did not.
It did.
No.
It changed.
No.
It changed.
All it did was fix bugs. That was a bug fix. Okay. The critical floor is a bug fix. All right. That's all that was. The game was allowing critical chance to go negative, and then you were firing 0 shots. I mean, that didn't fix PvP. That was a bug fix.
So isn't it true that with critical floor in effect, the game then became better? We had the Galactic Recruit introduction. The whole Galactic Recruit mechanism happened in January. And that was the month that was off to an interesting start with the new loop. Now, February, of course, we're not going to have a new loop 2 months in a row, are we? Oh, look at this. The Xindi Aquatic Hostile loop was in play. That's loop number 2, along with Epic Officer Jonathan Archer. And the new building was the holodeck. Now, did the new Officer Archer help with the previous month's loop? You know, the other Xindis, the Reptilians? No, it only helped with the Aquatics. We also got a new ship counter number 1. The Enterprise came out, the NX-01 in February. We had Rare Officer Shran. That's a big. We had the Epic Officer Hugh. Do we like Epic Officer Hugh in today's game, DJs?
I like it.
Yeah.
I love Epic Officer Hugh. That's a big win. We like Epic Hugh.
That was a
first
win.
good officer.
Yeah.
And we had more Xborg faction favors added in the Xborg faction store in February. So there you go. 2 months, 2 loops, 1 new ship. And then we got on this ship. We got on this ship, this Star Trek cruise ship. And Ultimate DJs attends a phone meeting, a conference meeting about loop number 3, and he damn near throws himself off the ship. He had a catastrophic meltdown right on the promenade of the ship for all to see.
I did.
He was yelling. He was screaming. He was throwing things. He was cussing people
I
out.
was not throwing things or cussing very much.
You were throwing your weight around, that's for sure. That's because month 3 was Enterprise Part 3 with loop number 3.
Yeah.
This was the silent enemy loop, which had nothing to do with the aquatics loop and nothing to do with the reptilians loop and nothing to do with the NX-01 ship that just came out the month before, along with Officer Phlox, the Epic, and Rare Officer Hoshi.
Yeah.
Don't use them for anything anymore either. The new feature was the Zindi Armadas that came out in the middle of the month.
Phlox is good.
What?
I use Phlox.
Oh, no, Hoshi.
Hoshi.
I'm talking about the mining officers. Yes, Phlox is good. We're glad that we have Phlox, but Hoshi, terrible. The Zindi Armada feature, I mean, that was this insult. Why was that such salt in the wound for you?
What? The Zindi Armadas?
The whole, well, the Zindi Armadas on top of the third month and 3 months, which was completely, non sequitur with the previous two. Can you tell us what you felt about that?
My thing was the third loop. All right. When they had already come out, the previous roadmap had promised quality over quantity. And here we are looking 3 months with 3 new loops, specifically that loop number 1 and loop number 3 had nothing to do with the ship that was introduced. And then Zindi Armadas were not benefited at all by the NX-01. Mm-hmm. So like, it just seemed very disconnected. And it was just, to me, it was I don't know if I want to call it lazy, but it was just very disconnected, and had no purpose, had no tie-in, nothing was related to one another. There was no narrative connection. They just threw spaghetti noodles at the wall just to see what was going to stick. And I think that's what I lost my mind about, was just the fact that it was continual shove new content with absolutely no rhyme or reason towards anything making any sense. You had Zindi Armadas come out that month along with Silent Enemies. They came at the same time as Temporal Artifacts, which had nothing to do with any of those. You had Phlox, who came out, which that would have been fine as an Enterprise, but he supports the Borg Cube. And Hoshi was a mining officer. So, it just, everything
all
was
over the map.
It was just very disconnected. It was very, very bad.
And on the back of the crew, the critical floor, we were introduced the true critical chance and true critical damage modifiers in the month of March, DJs.
Yeah, I am less fussy about true critical modifiers than I am, the crit floor being perceived as a PvP fix. That was a bug fix. But true critical chance reduction, I actually did like that, because the problem that we had in the game, and we still kind of do, is just the sheer amount of damage that can be thrown with hull breach. And true critical chance reduction and true critical damage reduction were net. So if you had 10% reduction, it reduced the shot by 10%. Not 10% of base, but 10%. So if you threw 100 million, then it dropped 10 million off of it right off the get-go. So I actually was not opposed to true critical damage modifiers. I kind of like that. I figured that was a step one in reducing the amount of damage, which needed to happen. Damage had to be reduced so that you could allow ships to break out of one-round combat. And true critical chance was step one in getting there.
That was fair to say. But, on the back of the loop after loop after loop with the new ship and all these things, it was almost as though the back was broken right here on month 3 with this quality versus quantity. I mean, that's really when that went out the window. But in happier news, in the month of March, the view screen videos were also added to the game. And to this date, we have Griffin with 1 video and Ultimate DJs with 0 videos featured in the game. Moving on to April. April was the Gorn Invasion Part 1. We had a new building, DJs.
A new loop,
what?
too. Yeah, Gorn.
We had a new building. We had the War Room added in the month of April.
Oh,
your favorite building of the year, right?
The War Room. Yes, the fastest, most easily upgradable building in the entire game.
Huh.
Yeah. That provides no benefits, pays no resources. It's literally just there. What a miserable waste of a building.
But don't look at the
bad.
building, because we'd had a new loop introduced. Again, this is now 4 loops in
Loop
4 months.
4, yes.
This was the Gorn Hunter hostile loop. It did not come with a ship. It did not come with a way to really to take care of it. You just had to throw your beefiest crew out there. We did get Epic Officer Strange New World Mbanga, who was good. We also had Epic Officer Sam Kirk, who was good and powerful when combined with officers later. And one of the best officers of the year, DJ, if we were coming up at the top 5.
Yes.
Rare Nurse Chapel. We love Chapel.
Yeah, Chapel came out that month. That was a win.
That was a big win.
That was a good one.
And finally, in the month of April, we had the Borg transwarp drive added to the Borg ship. And
Still don't have that.
You what?
I still don't have it. That was a paid feature.
What?
Yeah, that was paid. That was like a refit.
What is it with you and your Discovery and your transwarp, and I don't understand.
Nah, didn't do it. Didn't buy it.
The month of May, DJs, this was for the first time in Hell's Kitchen history in 2024. We had a arc introduced in the month of May with absolutely no new loop.
Well, that's nice.
5 months in and we got there, we did get the Gorn Eviscerator ship get eviscerated. We had Strange New World Kirk,
and
we
a new
had
coffee mug.
Rare Palia added
mug.
as well. Really solid officers, right?
Got a coffee mug that month too. Get eviscerated.
I enjoy that.
Yeah, that was a good one. Yeah, no, Epic Strange New Worlds Kirk, I think worked. I referred to them as the brothers Kirk. You had mentioned Sam Kirk in the previous month, who did not do a whole lot on his own, but I actually do like the brothers Kirk together. When you run Strange New Worlds Kirk along with Sam Kirk, they're actually pretty decent together. And if you've got Mbanga, that's a nice side card there as well. So yeah, Sam Kirk is Kirk with a mustache. That's right. So I actually liked that release of Officer. The Eviscerator, I think, is one. Up until this point, it was the crappiest ship released throughout the year. It was the only second ship, but definitely comparing it to the NX-01, this was not at all palate pleasing. This was a terrible
it was super
ship.
disappointing. The Enterprise gave us the ability to look into systems and see what was going on, which was a really cool passive ability. This Eviscerator came with it the RIP feature, and the RIP feature was a complete epic fall flat on your face disaster.
Yeah, it was failure.
Because you couldn't get the crew, you couldn't get the alliance members that you wanted to the systems that you wanted based on their limited ops range.
Yeah. Yo, what's going on? Dr. Iron Chef just popped into the chat with a big old stinky raid. Thank you very much. Appreciate that, man. How are you?
Hey, Chefy.
And Adam accurately points out there was a loop added that month, technically. And I said that. The game design people argued with that. I do agree. They added a loop because you basically had to hit 2 different levels of Gorn. There was 2 different loots there. You had Apex loot and volatile Apex or volatile loot or whatever it was called. So yeah, you had to hit 2 different hostiles to get that stuff. Thank you, Iron Chef, for your 100 kitty bitties. Aloha. Dr. Mom just did her first game stream. Oh, nice. What did you guys play?
Cool.
What did you guys play? Did you guys play some Fortnite? Because I missed that today, but I was working. I was very hard at work in the studio today. I really wanted to play some Fortnite. So might do that. Might do that tomorrow. Might do it tomorrow. So anyway, you added another loop there, Adam. You're absolutely correct. All right. That is absolutely correct.
mean, the office, the systems were there. The hostels were there.
But
you had to ship
you had to hit 2 different hostels now. You had to hit 2 different levels of the same hostel to sustain the refinery.
I thought that you got both loots from the same hostel.
Well, you do.
Well, technically, but you couldn't get enough volatile isomatter with a low-level eviscerator to maintain that refinery. And you couldn't get enough Apex isomatter with anything except the eviscerator
because it had a
to
loot
do
bonus.
That refinery.
Yeah, so they weren't in
So you
proportion.
had to hit low. I mean, if we bought and maxed the ship to our ops level on day 1, then yes, we didn't get an extra loop.
Yeah,
Most
Griffin.
do that.
Yeah. It's like it is. It's like 10-1. So I still to this day I have to hit 2 different levels of Gorn Hostile because the Eviscerator is extremely slow to upgrade. I maintain that it's the worst ship of the year. All right, it was
parts from the event store. Or did you spend all of
The
it
parts
on
are in the
officers?
event store.
I got.
Dude,
I got
no,
it
they were,
for all year.
it was limit 10. Okay, I looked at that. It was limit 10. It offered you something like 1,500 parts. My next component cost 7,500. That was worthless.
Nura 99 astutely points out in the
Worthless.
chat, DJ just sucks.
I do not suck, Nura.
That's
what
a
Nura
big
says.
one right there. That's impressively large.
Vindicator disagrees with it being the worst ship of the year. Well, that could be. What do I
Well, we'll
use the
get there at
Vindicator
the end.
for?
We can
What do I use
talk
the
about that.
Vindicator
We're
for?
moving on into June.
I don't use the Vindicator.
This is M67, and with it, the turn of the year, DJs, Mirror Universe Part 1. With the month of June, we have the new Mirror Universe Galaxy expansion, the latest creation of Mr. Tiger and his team, along with the Terran Empire hostiles. We had, of course, the Apex Barrier feature added in the month of June as well, which definitely changed a big part of the game, did it not?
Oh, yeah. Apex Barrier was a huge feature. And actually, this was that month? Apex Barrier was in July?
Yeah. It was in June.
Oh, yeah. Okay, June. Apex Barrier. Yeah, that was big, right? Apex Barrier was after true critical damage reduction. Apex Barrier was the next. And they performed essentially the same. They called it different. They released a different loop about it. Or a different mechanic to it, but it essentially was the same. Apex Barrier was a net damage reduction, and it functioned very similarly to true critical damage reduction, but it's had a lot more staying power. Apex Barrier is, in my opinion, what was the final step in saving PvP in this game. Apex Barrier, as it has built up, and it wasn't in month 1. Okay, it wasn't in month 1, but as a couple of months went on and people earned it and it became available in other areas, it wasn't just in one spot. It was in June, but then in July they added more, in August they added more, September they added more. As people started building up Apex Barrier, it did start lengthening battle. We are seeing PvP battles now go multiple rounds on the regular, and that was wildly necessary for the state of survival in PvP. In this game. So Apex Barrier, I think,
we
has
were
been
faced
fantastic.
with an environment where it was a 1 round no matter what. One round, PvP is done.
And Cruzito, I'm not saying that it's perfect now, by no stretch, but it is better than it was 6 months ago. And that is because of Apex Barrier and other damage reductions. So, and they can continue to go this way. Like it will, they might mess it up, but they can continue to make this better. Okay. They did turn off arenas, but not because PvP. They didn't turn it off because of PvP. They turned it off because of lag and engineering.
You
and the
can't
board
see
cube.
where your ships are.
Yeah, the board cube. All right. So Apex Barrier. Yeah, and that Divine says kind of reminds you of adding content that cancels out previous content. That's what has happened with Apex Barrier. But at the same time, like it wasn't a direct counter to any one thing. Like we've talked before, like Strike Team counters this or counters that. Apex Barrier was the solution to a problem 5 years in the making. It wasn't a direct counter to one mechanic, which is why it was necessary, and I was okay with it. It needed to happen because of power bloat, and that had already happened. So it wasn't a direct counter to something that was just sold. You could argue that Apex Barrier was a direct counter to, say, Carol Freeman, but Carol Freeman was FUBAR from the start. All right, Carol Freeman never should have happened. And the fact that she stuck around was simply Scopely being scared. All right, that should have never, ever stayed in the game. Carol Freeman was the biggest mistake to PvP that Scopely has ever made, and they were too scared to fix it. So Apex Barrier took a step towards that, and you could call it a Freeman counter if you want, but I mean, that was necessary. That's almost a bug fix. All right.
Here we go again.
Freeman
with
was
the
a
bug fix.
Freeman was a bug. All right. So yeah.
Oh Lord. Well, also in the month of June, we got a brand new mirror research tree, DJ. That research tree is probably one of my favorite that has ever been in the game because it covered so many different areas and different features in terms of efficiency. Really helped with faction rep. Really helped with ship parts, with materials. The list goes on and on. That mirror research tree, even in its first generation before the update, was a very effective and good use of our time. We had Epic Officer Picard, Mirror Picard, and Rare Officer Data added to the game in the month of June. Both are very important. I mean, this month of June was a pivotal month in the game because of what was brought in it from the terms of the officers, the Apex barrier, the MU. What a good month, I think. I would say that June up to now was the best month of the year.
You know, it's funny because it also was the most controversial. Launching Galaxy Quest. No, wait, they didn't do that. That wasn't Galaxy Quest in this one, right? That was just Mirror. Yeah, no.
I sent you.
Yeah,
a copy
I'm looking at it. I'm looking at it. I got it. Sorry, I was looking ahead. I was skipping ahead. No. This was a great month, and still to this day, Picard and Data are used heavily. I use them a lot. So Picard and Data, and it's taken that long for Data to become good, but that was a good month, I do believe. And the narrative of the Terran Empire, the narrative of the Mirror Universe was very popular. Players like that. That was not a controversial month. It was the beginning. Now, I will say there were players out there who were very fussy about it, including other content creators, because they referred to this as, you know, token locked token systems. All right. It was basically because of the keys and everything. And, you know, for month one, it might have been a little bit challenging. I remember the calls for letting us play, give us access. Andy was free the MU. There was that big thing about access. Let me ask you now, is anybody hurting for keys? I've got over 100,000.
Thousands.
I've got over 100,000 uncommon ones. Is anybody hurting for premium tokens? You know, so I believe that Mr. Tiger delivered on his promise there. We needed to give it a little bit of time. Obviously, we were anxious in June. We wanted to get in there and play, but his ultimate plan was certainly for that stuff to be very, very plentiful. And indeed it was. I mean, nobody is looking for keys. Nobody is looking for you know, issues in there. Now, yeah, you had 10-minute runs. Now you're at 30-minute runs. So that has definitely opened up and been a very valuable section of space between rep and you know, the Liquid Trillium D and all this other stuff. And again, the research. You had mentioned the research. I love the research simply because it takes no speed ups and no latinum. All right, that is a huge thing for me. No speed ups, no latinum, and that makes that tree absolutely incredible, absolutely amazing to me. So, yeah, good month. I liked it. Yeah.
And the hits kept on coming in the month of July. We have Mirror Universe Part 2 with a new building, District 56, a new feature, the Mirror Wave Defense. So this was the addition to a wave defense with the mirror overlay. We had a new feature added to the game, field repairs for 12 different ships in your fleet to add the ability to repair your ship while it was out there in the system instead of bringing it back home for repairs. We had a store reorganization on the web store and in the game, maybe spending money a lot easier for me. I enjoyed that. Mirror refinery efficiency exchanges and we have the Stella, the Mantis, the Voyager mirror refinery efficiency exchanges. Love that. Forbidden Tech came in. Two very, very, very important and controversial forbidden techs, maybe the best in the game that was introduced this year. The Tantalus Field and the Agony Booth came in the month of July, DJ. In addition to Epic Officer Kira, Rare Officer Esri, and Troy, and Lieutenant Picard for the newbies. Wow. July was a huge month.
It was a very busy month. District 56, I enjoy that building. It's moving at a decent level. I don't know about you guys. That one has not been very, very slow. I have free to play ground out that building. I am at level 56.
That's a big one right there. That's impressively large.
It is providing a small but consistent amount of apex barrier there and more critical damage reduction. It also was what was responsible for extending your time available in the mirror universe. So I enjoyed that building. That building was very, very important. And to get that extra time in the mirror universe, only required level 40 of that building, which was decently quick to get. Look, here we are, only 5 months later, and that building is level 56 for me. How are you guys looking in the chat? Right there, Savage Darkness says level 57. Griffin at 67, but you probably spent on it. Pong at 60. Bender at 52. Wolfwood at 46. Zero G's at 50. Corey Rains at 51. Those are good numbers, and that's good progression on a building that was only launched 5 months ago. So
now, where are you out of the war room? Put your ops levels in the war room now.
My war 23? Room is 26. My war room is 26. 18? Wolfwood at 18. Pong at 31. Zero G's at 20. Killer Spock at 30. Falcon Paul at 18. Rachel at 16. Bender at 20. Terrible, Scopely. That is God, what a terrible, just a wasted feature. You could have done so much with the war room. It could have been so good. It really could have been. Just garbage. You know, do you think that that one of the reasons they went slow with it is because of the isolytic damage? I mean, even at level 26, I'm getting 13% isolytic boost out of it. But if that were the case, then I wish they would have slowed down that buff and allowed me to move up the building, because there's also officer stats boost in there that I could use, shield health bonus that I could use, but the building is at level 26. All right. And Cruzito said it was the resources you could get from it would have been great. Well, we can't get there either. I mean, I'm getting G2 resources. Not G2 resources, but G2 quantities. I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. So, War Room, just Garfunkel.
What did you think about the field repairs? Have you added those to the ships in your fleet?
So I haven't yet. I really should. I was very happy that those came out. And if you remember, in the very first month, there were a couple that came out, and wasn't there even one of them that was grindable maybe, but it was a ship that was beyond what I was ready to do. I can't remember right off. I have not. And honestly, that's probably an oversight on my part, because field repairs would be great. There's a lot of places where they can be used. They can be used in PvP. They can be used in arenas. They can be.
I put mine on the protector first to get the 25% back to stay in there longer.
Yeah, there's some very interesting field repair uses. Wait, there's field repairs on the protector? Is there? Okay, didn't know that. But yeah, that is probably something that I should have looked into, and I haven't. I kind of just let it go, and I probably should not. I should go back and revisit that. But I think you're talking about Omega 13, dude. I think you're talking about Omega 13.
I have both. Okay. I have both. It's right here on the whale cam. I've got my little plus icon, and I got my Omega 13.
Your Omega, first of all, your whale cam's not on. But I don't think there's field repairs. It's just Omega 13.
Oh, my God. Hold on.
Okay,
Hold on, everybody. Just give me a second.
I thought it was just on faction ships.
There, whale cam.
You just lost your vocal, so fix it. There, okay. All right. Oh, hold on. I got to turn off the whale cam.
It launched with just faction ships, but they've introduced some others since then, like the Borg Cube.
Okay.
There, see?
I guess for the protector as well.
Field repairs ability disabled while at full health. Okay. Oh, paid store. Okay, gotcha. I gotcha. I didn't know. All right, well, there you go. That's a thing. I didn't know. And again, you know what? In all fairness, I probably should know, but I have not activated any field repairs, and I probably should on like the ships that I use a lot, like my Enterprise, Enterprise D.
It's a very nice feature. And it's a cheap feature. You have so many. It's not like you can do one a day. They give you enough to
paid. It is still paid.
But it's very cheap to keep going. The material that the juice is loose juice.
Once you've paid for it, it's very cheap.
Yeah, once you pay the $100, guys, then it's really easy to use. You know,
what do you want from me?
Nothing. It's fine.
And it wasn't all good news in the month of July, DJ, because you know what else happened at 4:30 in the morning?
What happened at 4:30 in the morning? Oh,
that happened.
You broke your clock. Wait,
yeah, they went into the mirror universe. They messed up that loot goblin, and they made him appear every half an hour instead of every 2 minutes.
Yeah. That's right. Forgot about that.
Yeah. So that's why we're doing this nice little recap. In the
All right,
month of August,
hang on. I'm being told that I need to sit down. I am actually currently standing. I am being told that I need to sit down. Not for the protector. I don't.
What?
All right. I'm being told that field repairs are free in the Section 31 store, and that's true, but not for the protector. But yes, you do have them grindable for Kelvin Vorchik Corvus, which is G4 uncommon. Northcut Akira Minerva, which is G5 uncommon. Rotaran Negvar Enterprise D G5 epic. Wait, what? Rotaran.
Oh, that's G6.
Negvar is G6.
You're mixing up. Yeah.
What happened here?
Akira's G6 too.
Akira's G6. Oh, these are out of order. God bless it. Well, yeah, I messed that all up, because I don't have any of the ships. But nonetheless, there are some. But not the protector. I'm going to maintain not the protector. All right, but you do have G4 uncommon, G5 epic, and G6 uncommon here. Is that it?
They were going to add more later, and they never circled back and add more.
G4
cool.
Yeah, they never ended up adding more.
Oh,
they said, hey, we could only do 12 by the time of the launch, but we're going to come back and we're going to add the rest in. Where's the stopwatch sound?
Add that to my list of something to complain about. Yeah, you forgot them, Scopes. You forgot them.
Forgot all about them.
All right, so that was the month of July. What do you got for
the month
us
of August?
In August, yeah.
Galaxy Quest and the arc that was so great they had to fly us to Los Angeles just so they could see the look on our faces when they introduced it.
Yeah.
Galaxy Quest made its crossover appearance in the game in the month of August, featuring a new ship. This is ship number 3, the NSCA Protector. The Mirror Universe Galaxy expansion, the second part of the MU on top, was added. A Mirror Research Tree expansion was added to the beginning of the tree, which was very nice. A new feature, Galaxy Quest Invading Entities, and the event store were added. So this is the chimeras and the other things that pop up once a month, as well as the monthly event store to go along with them to source some officers. We had the Alliance tournaments come in the month of August.
No. You don't get to hit the buzzer. No.
The first time it came out, it was a big.
All right. The very first time was not good, but it was a great concept. The idea of the Alliance
tournament's great.
Great
the
concept.
Implementation the first time, not great.
Agreed. I will agree with that. But it was cool that they were introduced.
It was good that it's. Are we happy that it's here?
Yes.
We are very happy that it's here now.
Yes, we are.
There's no doubt about that.
Happy that it's here.
And we had 4 officers added with varying use factors in today's game. We had Laliari added wave defense. Have you ever taken Laliari out to wave defense one time, DJ?
No. Yeah.
We had Alexander Dane with his impulse speed.
Yeah. How about that one, Alexander Dane?
He's a top 5er.
Yeah, he is.
He's definitely a top 5er. How about Jason Nesmith with his wonderful MU features?
I don't fly that one.
No. But what about Gwen DeMarco with her cascade damage and PvP destruction?
Yeah, she's good.
She's awesome.
If I had her unlocked.
Oh, poor guy.
I don't have it unlocked yet.
That's just too bad.
Yeah.
Well, but your protector's doing better than mine probably because you're spending all your.
Nope, protector's still low tier because it's slow as crap too. I don't know what it is with all the slow. Balabom says great sourcing on Gwen DeMarco. Are you being sarcastic? Because I mean, it's not been that bad. I just chose to focus on something else. All right, I chose to.
What did you choose to focus on instead of DeMarco?
My protector, tearing it up, but that was a mistake. That was an error. That was an error in judgment. All right. I have since switched over to working on that. Because here's the thing. The Protectors kind of hit a cap for me. Like, I think mine's at tier 6 or tier 7. But the only thing I'm lacking on the thing is warp range. I can do pretty much anything I want to do with it. You know what I'm saying? The only thing that is lacking for me is warp range on that ship. I can hit almost anything in there. I'm at tier 8. So I am definitely going to switch gears now and work on Gwen DeMarco now with all my loot and my invasion loot and all that stuff. Yo, what's up? Child. I'm just going to call you.
Did you spring a leak? What happened?
Sitchlid? Hi, Sitchlid. I think I'm saying that right. Thanks for the follow. Appreciate it.
Oh.
So, I mean, it's fine. It's fine. I made an error in prioritization. I am now working on Gwen DeMarco, but I don't have it yet. Oopsies.
Yeah, what are you going to do? You did unlock that nice skin, though, I see. On your Protector.
Did. I do like the skin. The skin looks awesome. I am a big fan. This is a cosmetic that I said that I would be willing to pay for. Now, I didn't. I ground it out. But what a great cosmetic this thing is.
Yeah, it's fun to see flying around, that's for sure.
Canine Tooth, they don't come from the same store. This comes from the Omega refinery. It doesn't come from the same refinery. So, yes, I was able to grind this out, but it comes from a different place. Don't judge me. Okay?
It's not useless. It brings him joy.
It's not useless. It's beautiful. I mean, the art on this thing is just exquisite. Hi, the Bellender. Bellender. Thank you.
Yeah, the
Welcome.
Bellender.
The Bellender.
You know what's really
follow.
satisfying with that skin that you haven't done yet that you got to do?
What?
Take that skin out into to worm space.
Yeah.
And kill some worms with that thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's fun to watch.
Is it fun to watch? I will never kill worms voluntarily. But it is a great ship. Great skin, rather. You guys want an
It is a great skin. And it is a great ship as you tear the ship up. It's very useful in making that mechanic work and that whole arc, that whole 3-month arc work. And it does work masterfully well with the precision hand of Mr. Tiger behind the helm.
There it is. So if you angle down just a little bit, you got a good aft shot right there. There's the eyeballs. I'm telling you, there is a mask. There is a mask built into every ship. We just haven't found it. Okay? Just saying. Every ship. There is a mask or a face or something built into every ship. We just haven't gone to look for all of them. Here it is for the for this skin. I love it. What a good looking aft.
But looking at the ship's ass. Moving on to the month of September, a brand new arc unfolds. That's Mark 70 Symbiosis Part 1. And this DJ brought with it a new Fleet Commander Lorca, which we have still never talked about on this show.
We have never talked about
Lorca. I know that we will
Lorca.
get around to it at one point.
Yeah, one of these days.
Yeah.
Fleet Commander Lorca.
We also had a new building added.
What?
The Nova Squadron building.
A building? Sorry.
Building, yes. A building.
I know it's getting late. Now I'm just giggling over stupid stuff.
Nova Squadron came into the game, a building that sort of upgrades itself as you upgrade the ship. The building, you upgrade the corresponding research tree, which is nice. We had the introduction of G6 Solo Armadas in September. We had 8 new artifacts come into the game. We had Forbidden Tech, a Quantum Slipstream drive added as well.
Yep.
We had Dejash Tulra and Holy added into the officer pool. And the Gorn Eviscerator Ops Range controversial update finally happened in the month of September.
Yeah, well, that's great. Little too late, in my opinion. The Eviscerator still remains a terrible ship. The refinery is fine. You know, listen, the ship is bad. I should go back and clarify my statement. The refinery's been fine. The refinery's been great since it started. That's the only reason that anybody has to work on the Eviscerator. Now, if you're a big spending player, then the officers and the artifact shards that are in there don't do you any good because you've already paid to max those out. So big spenders have no reason to chase the Eviscerator. On the other hand, players like myself who might still be working on certain officer shards, it looks like mostly the Voyager crew, some Ant-E crew in there, but then also the isolytic artifacts. And the isolytic artifacts are a very, very big deal. These are the ones that arguably have more combat capabilities than the original generic artifacts because they're all related to isolytic damage and or defense. So I am still working on all of these artifacts. I don't have any of them maxed. So the Eviscerator Refinery remains a really, really good thing. The ship, terrible. Refinery, good. And I think that's an important thing to differentiate. The ship is awful, but at least the refinery was worth it. Otherwise, it would have been a completely dead loop. The G6 Solo Armadas came out. Those were fine. Arguable in their worth. I've kind of gotten into a pattern with them now, and it is helping. I'm getting stuff out of them. I'm now able to do some rares as well. Moonhead, thanks for the follow. Appreciate you being here. Thank you so very much. I have gotten into a pattern with those. And fortunately, what G6 players saw with the G6 Solar Armadas is they did not see really any shortage of directives. They sourced those very, very well. And I'm very, very pleased about that. The uncommons drop at, 3 a day, I believe. And so that is more than enough to keep the refinery fed, more than enough to keep the refinery fed at max pulls. For the uncommon. Now, the rares are a little bit tougher. I'm sure that'll become easier later on. But right now, I'm not able to do rares very often. But the uncommons, I'm running those every day. And really, I see in the chat, it would be wise. Some people say I'm only running them on Thursdays now. Why would that be? Because why is that? Because Wednesday's the Armada event. What's on Thursday?
No, Wednesday's Final Weapon Wednesday.
Vindicator.
What's Thursday?
The Vindicator.
The
Armada
Vindicator, the Vindicator event. That's right. So you're running them on Thursday. Yes. Okay. I run them on Thursday. I actually run them most days. I kind of like them. So
they're nice.
Yeah. If you can max pull the uncommon refinery, it pays okay. It's paying all right. So that was a good month. Lorca, G6 solos, the quantum slipstream
the officers
drive.
are very usable.
Yeah, I use Dejosh, Tolra, and Toli everywhere now except for the Borg polygons and the Borg the 3.0s because they're broken over there. But they're my primary crew now for any other Armada in the game, including the G6 solos. So yeah, they're great. The quantum slipstream drive, I didn't buy it, but again, it's a warp range thing. You're right. I've avoided all things warp range. I wonder why. Eviscerator, quantum slipstream, the Borg transwarp thing.
You just don't like to get around.
I'm very fussy about it.
You like to stay on your lonely mountain and bitch.
I do like my mountain. It's very quiet and cozy up here. So that was September. Symbiosis Part 1. October brought Part 2. Griffin, what came then?
Well, we had the release of Arena Combat. Just as we were getting Alliance tournaments kind of ironed out and figured out, here comes this brand new feature, Arena Combat. Again, great on paper, great initially. But honestly, it's gotten worse and worse from an implementation standpoint.
That one actually launched mechanically, launched okay. This feature got worse over time. Now there were matchmaking problems right up front. And let me be clear, the matchmaking, I am going to maintain. I'm going to die on this hill. The matchmaking was still not bad in terms of unfairness. Okay.
No, and they made improvements to make it even better as they went along.
I'm going to die on this hill. People are going to think I'm crazy, but matchmaking has been surprisingly good for Scopely. Okay. I mean,
compared to other game technologies out there, absolutely yes.
Matchmaking has been surprisingly good. The problem you had with matchmaking in week number 1 was team size. You had players that were eliminated and not being able to play. Cruzito says matchmaking is the issue. It's the participation or lack thereof. See, I disagree. I think that time, the restriction, the 8-hour window makes it really, really tough. But you also had the requirement of 5 people within 7 ops levels in week number 1, which is what killed participation. Then you also had the beginning of the matchmaker formula, which put everybody on even keel, so that made it look worse than what it was. And but that's how any week 1 was gonna look on matchmaking. So honestly, like, it was a great launch, except if you couldn't play. As a matter of fact, I would argue that probably week 2 of Arenas was the best there ever was.
That was a sweet spot. Yep.
Week 2 was good because it shortened the teams to 3, so a lot more people were able to play, but you still and you didn't have a lot of the implementation or the engineering problems yet because they created those later. Week 2 was a sweet spot.
It was a sweet spot, and hopefully we'll get back there again because it's a really fun feature. I really enjoy participating in it when it works, but you've got to be able to see where your opponents are in order to play. So let's hope that they get that fixed as it is on hiatus. We did get a new ship in the month of October, the Vindicator, and all of its Armada saving glory, a problem that many of us didn't have in the first place, but there was a solution to it for those who wanted one. A new Syndicate expansion came out in the month of October, along with the Terran Empire faction and favors associated with the Terran Empire. And we had many new officers. We had Maria Vael, we had Mira Hura, we had Syndicate Thilin, and we had Rare Officer Beer, who was awesome for loot maxing.
Yeah, Beer's been great. I think and Vael's been great. I've really enjoyed Vael. Vael is the below deck Borg Hue for Armadas, which is fantastic. I use Beer all the time. I haven't used Syndicate Felon. That's a weird one. And I don't really use Mira Uhura, but that was grindable in the Terran store. So she was at least free to play grindable if you were able to participate in arenas. The Vindicator is a tough spot for me because, like the Eviscerator, the Refinery is, I think, what mattered. I have not flown the Vindicator against an Armada yet. Not once.
Oh,
all right.
It's good.
What? Why are you laughing? Should I be? Because I don't.
Yeah. It's good up in G6 town, too.
Okay. Yeah. Well, my Vindicator is still tier 3. So is it good for me?
Yours will not be good up in G6 town.
Ah, there you go. Where does it need to be for a G6 player?
Tier 7.
Tier 7. Well, there you go. I'm at tier 3. Now, granted, the ship just came out 2 months ago. And Dragon Keeper says, I just got the Vindicator last night. Well, people have been grinding it out, so that's good. I'm glad that will become available to some people. But here to tell you, it's great for the Refinery until it becomes appropriate for your tier. Now, the reason I say it's great for the Refinery is because it comes in and provides sourcing to Jadzia Dax, Anti-Picard, Chapel, again, Bashir, who was long not sourced, Enterprise E Data, and Dejosh Torah, one of the brand new epics. This was pretty daggone good officer sourcing, being very new, but that wasn't even the best part of the Refinery. The best part of the Refinery was Fleet Commanders. Not only the very, very speedy acquisition of Fleet Commanders that you may or may not have had, including all of the Fleet Commanders up until this point, but also Lorca, Sloan, and Locutus, which up to this point, well, and Seven and Janeway, I guess they were available in Incursion store, but Lorca and Sloan, I don't think were. So the Fleet Commander acquisition allowed you to unlock all of the remaining Fleet Commanders, but the big piece here came in the Lorca skill points and the Sloan skill points. Specifically, the Lorca skill points, because they're not sourced anywhere else in the game other than spent. All right? So Lorca skill points. What?
Oh, Lorca. I'm confused. What's the Fleet Commander? I don't know that feature.
Yeah, we know. Sloan skill points are sourceable in the Mirror Wave store, but Lorca skill points only there in the Vindicator Refinery. And that was a good thing for people who hadn't already spent to max Lorca. So for those of you just now getting to your Vindicator, that is going to be the most important piece of that Refinery. But it doesn't matter which piece is most important or not important, because the weekly event for sourcing the stuff, the Spaceworks circuits, is strong enough to give you 7 pulls of each of these chests every single week. Like, there is no choice. You just get it all. So that is fantastic. You get to go through and you get to claim each of these bundles every single day as long as you keep up with your Thursday Vindicator event. So that is nice. And again, the refinery being the key portion of that, not the ship itself, at least not until it becomes usable. I'm at tier 3. We are 2 months in. I guess we will see what the sourcing or what the upgrade speed on that looks like natively free to play, but doesn't look great.
I think better than better than the Eviscerator.
Well, okay. Yeah, I mean, the Eviscerator we said was 5 months in. I'm tier 5 on that, so I don't know. We'll see. White Wolf, thank you for your 32-month resub. Yes, I did have a fun holiday. I hope you did as well. Lead Couch, thank you for the YouTube subscription. Appreciate that very much. Thanks for coming in and hanging out. Nice. I've got some thank yous that I want to read here in just a moment as well as we get ready to wrap up. So that was November, or that was October, rather. And then we come into November as we get ready to wrap up the year. Griffin, what do you got in November?
Probably most people's favorite month of the year because of the new building, the Independent Archives, which single-handedly closed 5 loops for players with simple daily participation. The new feature of the month was Chaos Tech. On the back of Forbidden Tech, we now have a secondary level of Chaos Tech. We have a new loop, the Continuum Space Hostels, with the Q's space up there. We had the Smart Speed Up button added to the game. That's efficiency number 1. Quality of life efficiency number 1. We had reorganized missions panel, which was awesome. That was QL number 2. We had support for deep linking system names in addition to planet names in missions. So they now have the ability to just hyperlink you right to a planet or a system when they need to, which is great.
Yeah.
What?
If it worked.
Well,
they also single-handedly
sure
broke bookmarks at the same time that they launched deep links. Deep links did not impress me much. That did not impress me much. No, they broke the entire linking system that way.
Well, but the idea is they'll fix it. And the negative faction rep toggle button for the collect all on the daily events was added as well. So a lot of quality of life was introduced in the month of November, in addition to this Q set of, and I still don't know, I don't get it. DJ, explain to us why we have this whole new strike team lineup, and why are they better or worse than what came out a year and a half ago?
So this is a better example of creating content that nullifies previous content. Earlier, you guys were talking about that with Apex Barrier. This is a better example of that, if you were to ask me. This is basically a new strike team, and they're doing 3 sets, all right? Starfleet Q, Mariachi Q, and French Marshal Q were the first set, and they had problems with sourcing with Starfleet Q in the very beginning. This was a very, very monetized officer sourcing month, and it really turned a lot of people off because the officer set really kind of had to be a trifecta, and the rare officers were only available through pay, and the epic officer was only available through pay. So if you've got these 3 officers in a set, you were essentially forced to spend money on them, and I hate that fundamentally. That being said, they released these officers to try to provide a little bit more Krujitsu into the PvP meta. I don't know if they did. Most of our early testing says no, but we're also working with very low tier officers compared to higher tier previous strike teams, lower deck teams, Carol Freeman, even Mirror Universe, Picard, and Data are tiered better than the Q strike team. So time will probably tell on these guys. Right now, they're not. Okay? Right now, they're not as good as Mirror PvP or the original strike teams, or even Freeman, Worf, and Lorca. They're not as good as any of those. But we're also dealing with mostly low-tier Q officers. So time will probably tell on these, but they don't feel like they were superbly, amazingly wonderful officers. That being said, the rare officers do have better use under deck.
Exactly. That's what I was about to point out.
Yeah, the rare officers can be used individually and therefore justified if somebody wanted to buy one of them. You know what I'm saying? But again, still, they were pay only when they came out. Now, this past month, they were available in an event store, and people had an opportunity to unlock them, which is good. And I hope that you did up until it's really never failed that officers continue to be the bright spot in any event store. I hope you dumped everything into the rares this month. But those Q rare officers had great below deck abilities, far better than what they would have been on the bridge with the epic officer. As far as the mindset, Griffin, they wanted more PvP meta. I just don't think that they quite hit the nail on the head with this one yet. It could come with time. Mr. Tiger actually answered that question on our show and said, we do want them to be good, but we'll have to keep an eye on them to make sure that they are good. But we also don't want them to be, gobsmack good. Like, we don't want another Freeman incident. So they're being more cautious, which I appreciate. But at the same time, more PvP officers. It's got question. Some people are going to like it, especially with the advent of arenas, right? You have a need for more PvP crews with arenas. So we'll see if they develop into something solid as far as a PvP crew. Right now, I don't feel like they are, but it's very, very early.
It is early to tell, and I do like the direction that they took with the below deck ability. If you remember, the second iteration of Strike Team came in the form of the lower decks officers, lower decks 2, and they just flip-flopped what the lower decks feature would be versus the bridge feature. Like, if they were meant to work on a battleship on the bridge, then below decks they were meant to work on an interceptor or something like that. This time around, like, the Mariachi Q does something completely different, and he can take your Apex barrier all the way up to 15,000 below decks, which is awesome. I prefer French Marshal Q for his below deck ability, which was repairing up to 20% of your hull damage every round.
If there was any state, right? You did have to have a state, or was that one burning?
That was with burning.
That was with burning.
No, any state.
It is any state. So that one's pretty good. The struggle that I had is with the ones that were specific. I like the ones for any state. That was good. But the one that was specific to burning, I felt like was a little bit challenging. I mean, obviously it goes on a battleship strike team, and that's fine. But I like the versatility of the any state ones for sure.
Yeah, those are really cool. And that's the month of November. The
smart speed ups. Did you mention that? I love smart speed ups. That was a big one.
Smart speed ups are really cool, a really fun thing. I also really enjoyed the independent archives and what that's done for the game.
Oh, for sure.
And now here we are, the last month. We are living in it. We have our 5th new ship of the year, the SS Revenant. We have Chaos Tech version 2 with more Chaos Tech being added to the game, and 3 officers. The second iteration of the Battleship Strike Team with Soren, Rami, and Miss Q.
Yeah.
And the Legacy Reel. Who doesn't love a Legacy Reel?
Legacy Reel was fantastic. I enjoyed it as much as I did last year. It had a lot of great talking points. Mine was embarrassing this year. I mean, it just straight up was. It makes for a great conversation, when people are making fun of me, because my Legacy Reel was really, really bad. Dragon Keeper did not like his Legacy Reel this year. Was it just because it was embarrassing to you as well? Because mine was embarrassing. Mine was embarrassing to me. So I was disappointed with my stats, but the Legacy Reel was actually very, very cool. Wham says you're welcome. You had a lot to do with that, you jerk. Yeah. Yeah, that's actually really, really funny. So people said that last year's was more epic. I think it's just because it was new. Maybe you were expecting it this year. I thought, thematically and cinematography wise, it was still fantastic. I love the Legacy Reel. I hope it does not go away. The Revenant. I am not unhappy with this ship. This would not be a bad ship for me this year. I am not unhappy with the Revenant.
It is a cash cow. It is a materials cash cow. And that's why I went and fully invested in it, because I am literally drowning in materials. I can max any G5 ship I want to with this Revenant. I think it's great. I think that the economy is fantastic. I like that they fixed its tiering up in the later levels. I thought that was really nice of Mr. Tiger to go out there and fix. It has a lot of potential. If you're just unlocking the ship or in the low levels to tearing it up, you definitely have a lot to look forward to.
Here's the deal. Divine says the Revenant is basically Stella 2.0. And I'm not going to argue that. It is indeed Stella 2.0. But they took out a lot of the pain points of Stella, improved the refinery and eliminated some of those pitfalls from Stella. I agree at its core, it is Stella 2.0, but it's much, much better than Stella ever was. The materials that it's paying out is great. The sourcing of I feel like the sourcing of the directives could be better, okay, for sure. But there also is free to play sourcing of Chaos Tech that came out here very, very early.
Yes.
So I think that is very, very good. I believe that there are a couple of little tweaks that need to be made. You had mentioned the one going from tier 14 to tier 15. Mr. Tiger fixed it. I have also already identified, actually Jules identified, I relayed it to Mr. Tiger, that pitfall going in the refinery cost from Mark 1 to Mark 2. Mr. Tiger did not have a chance to review that before the holiday break, but he has assured me that they will look into it. I feel convinced that it is an error because later, Griffin, I actually found a tooltip in the game that contradicts what the refinery cost actually is.
Well, there you go. Yeah.
So I think that it was that the refinery is actually straight up an error because the tooltip does indicate a different set of figures that the refinery is supposed to be. That being said, that's why I'm holding at Mark 1 right now. I suggest you guys do the same. And I think that will be corrected shortly after the new year. But yeah, the material payout is really, really nice. The resources payout is really, really good. They have taken, he even called it the Monavine 2.0. You guys are calling it Stella 2.0 in its mechanic, but it's Monavine 2.0 in the way it pays. And you guys loved Monavine. So it pays really, really well. It is
well, it pays
also,
two ways. It's paying daily. It's paying when you upgrade it. You get Slap Your Grandma Good chest unlock for 10 days after you upgrade this thing. This is an incredible economy fixer, booster, changer.
Well, yes, and I agree. And Count DeVille will argue, say it's not really Stella because it's one-time scrap per generation, which I agree with. That's what I'm saying. But it is a scrap to advance, and you're hitting Armadas. That's why people say it's Stella 2.0. You're going to hit the exchange Armadas, and you're tearing up your Stella, and then you're scrapping it. That's what's happening here with the Revenant. But it is, again, like I say, they've eliminated a lot of those pain points. You're tearing it and scrapping it one time per generation. So once for G4, once for G5, once for G6. Broken Wolf says, all right, fine, improved Stella 2.0. Sure. All right, there you go. Improved Stella 2.0. But it is paying very, very, very good. And it's functional. Even at tier 1, even at tier 2, even at tier 3, it is functional against the targets for which it was designed. And I think that is a huge thing. When you can give me a ship that I can use at tier 1, that matters. Okay? When you can give me a ship that can see tangible advancement at tier 2, that is very, very good. So I like the Revenant. I think that I am most dissatisfied with the fact that it was not named after me. That's right. Free to play sourcing on day 1. That's absolutely correct. So this has been, if it's not as good as the Protector. Protector, I think, is here. You've had 3 winning ships this year and 2 duds. All right, right. You had 5 ships. You had the Eviscerator, garbage. Vindicator, garbage. Refineries, good, but ships, garbage. Then you have functionally good, the NX-01, the Protector, and the Revenant. Those, I don't know that you can accurately rank a number 1 ship of the year because they're good at so many different things. The NX-01 is fantastic for exploration, for space travel. It's got an insane warp speed on it, and the peak ability lets you in. The Protector is...
And for artifacts.
The Protector is a stupidly versatile ship. It is incredibly fast. It is incredibly strong. It has the Omega-13 ability that it can affect itself. Protector is phenomenal. It is
a hero of arenas.
It's a great ship in arenas, and honestly, it's a viable PvP ship at the higher tiers. And then you've got the Revenant, which
Oh my gosh. My name is Beck, and
Yeah.
I like plants, and I'm a valley girl, and listen to me do all the things on a Rev show.
it's still DJ's show. It's still DJ's show. But then the Revenant comes in. It's viable. It's useful. It kills hostiles and armadas. It has an ability that is relevant. It does allow that ship to be better. It puts everybody back on the level playing field when it comes to these Borg armadas. It does not take into, or it does not get replaced by a late G6 ship. It is on its own. So I like that. I like the refinery. Those are three very good ships. They hit all the marks for me on those three ships this year. The Eviscerator and the Vindicator are the two duds of the year for me. But Revenant was a good wrap-up. I mean, it's a good ship. I like it.
It's a good way to end the year, and it's safe to say that the year of 24 ended better than it started. We got a lot at the end of the year that we were hoping for at the beginning of the year, and there was a lot of long suffering to get there. But what we have seen in the last few months gives us hope for the future. So what do we have to look forward to into 2025? Is it going to start off with a bang? Is it going to be great? Are we going to keep this forward momentum going? Is it going to be a hellacious year? We don't know.
I see what you did there. That's very funny, hellacious. Well, we do know a couple of things that we are looking forward to in the 2025 roadmap. We are looking forward to the Year of Hell. We're looking, looking at another Voyager arc. They've pretty much said that outright. We're looking at the Krenim warship. There was also the time ship. There was a time ship. What was it? The time ship Eon. What did you guys say it was called in that graphic? There was actually, crazy enough, there's three ships in that graphic. Two of them were very easily identified. It was Voyager from Year of Hell, and then you also had the Krenim time ship. But also hidden in that screenshot, Griffin, was also the time ship Relativity. So that could be an interesting. All three of those, though, by the way, have everything to do with time travel. So we could see them interacting together in an arc or series of arcs. So definitely excited to see Voyager back for its 30th anniversary. Wrath of Khan will be making an appearance this year, which I think is long overdue. I think that is very, very cool. Very, very excited about what it is that they're going to bring. The Genesis device had better be something that we get to interact with. I don't know if it's going to be a chaos tech, a forbidden tech, an artifact, don't care, but we better get the Genesis device. Okay. So, Ultravetica says that is the arc to not mess up. I remember when TNG came out, we said, that's the series you don't mess up. And then we feel like they messed it up a little bit. But I'm very excited for Wrath of Khan. That's going to be great. We are also getting a new crossover. We are getting a crossover this year. They have confirmed a crossover. So that is interesting.
But now we know what to expect.
Do we?
Well, we know what they mean by we're getting a crossover.
Okay, that might be fair. Yeah. Do we know what crossover it's going to be? No, we do not.
We do not, but we know what a crossover means, and we know how it affects the game, and we know what happens after the crossover month is over, and all these questions we had about crossovers, at least now we know what to expect.
Yeah. Yep. So there's that, and then there was one other thing. There was one other thing on the list, wasn't there?
I don't know. I'm just excited about what's to come and the things that you've talked about so far. I'm really looking forward to where we're going right now.
Yeah. Listen, they did crazy enough. It's not been a bad last couple of months. There's always stuff to complain about, but they've done more good these last couple of months. I got to tell you, it wasn't a hard bar to set though when the first 5 months of the year were as garbage as they were. I mean, Scopely, you cannot start 2025 like you started 2024. 2024 started, it was trash. It was straight up trash. That's how Dragon Keeper got his name.
That's right.
Was the beginning part of 2024. All right. It was awful. Please do not repeat it. All right. Don't do it. Don't do it. All right. So there you go. Okay. That's right. Divine says 2024.
Spectre, come on,
12
Spectre.
months.
You can't say that about the Loot Museum in November. Absolutely not.
Oh, he
That
said,
is a great feature.
Spectre says they've not had a successful feature launch for an entire year. No, I disagree with that. That's not true.
Grumpy. It must be cold up there.
Yeah, Retrieving says Scopely has a bad track record with the start of years. Remember the Ferengi arc? Ooh, yeah, I do. Yeah. Divine says 2024 in wrap up, 12 months, 16 loops, 5 ships. 16 loops. Good God.
I don't know about 16, but
I feel like that's
it
probably
seems
accurate.
like it some days.
I feel like that's
It seems
probably
like it.
accurate. All right. There we go. Any other final comments? Anything that we should address before we get ready to peace on out of here? It's getting a little bit late. 15 minutes left on your dailies. Thank you guys very much for hanging out tonight. Appreciate that. I've got a couple of thank yous that I would like to read. As we get ready to wrap up the show here tonight, I will give you just a minute or two in Q&A. I didn't say you said Galaxy Quest was trash. I said the beginning of 2024 was trash. All right, that's how you got your name. Thank you, Duder. Love you too, man. That's appreciated. Balabom says, have loved your content this year. Look forward to more in the new year. Thank you.
Thank you, Duder.
Our content has shifted just a little bit. We have done a little bit more on YouTube this year. That was my goal, was to do a little bit more, do a little bit better. We started doing really, really great with it, and then we didn't. So I'm going to continue doing that.
It's my fault. It's because of the damn pergola.
It's the pergola.
I
Blame
thought
the
people
pergola.
were happy because I'm here now.
Yeah, that's
No?
exactly right. The content is great. Yeah, that's right. And Griffin question, does your car still smell like gas?
No, everybody was wrong. I put the things in the washing machine. Nothing. It did not help at all. So you were right about that. But I did not break my washing machine. Then I took the pads out to the to the back patio during the hurricane, and I just let them get soaked during the hurricane.
That was good.
Problem solved.
Yeah, there you go. DJ's question, did you clean your car? Yes, I did.
No.
Adam Ramble says the launch of the Scopely open bar in September was great. Agreed. That was fantastic. See, Trash Keeper loved that one. When is the Peyton List video coming out?
Still uploading.
Still uploading. Oh, that's so funny. Coming up in 2025, we're going to be continuing our efforts to improve our YouTube channels. We've also got the new Studio B channel, which we have been streaming on pretty reliably up until the holiday break. I didn't do much here the last week or two, but we are doing a New Year's Eve party, December 31st. I actually spent some time today and worked on some New Year's graphics. So over on the Studio B channel, we will be doing a New Year's Eve party. We'll probably start around 9 p.m. and we'll stream through 3 a.m. That'll be a 6-hour stream.
Wow.
That we will do over in Studio B. I might start at 10 p.m. I'm not sure. Probably 9, maybe 10. But I want to hit all of the New Year's for at least the North American continent. I'm not going to get Hawaii. Sorry, Iron Chef. I'm not going to be able. And sorry, for Japan and New Zealand. I'm not. You're already it's probably already New Year's there. Yeah, Scalyback says you can begin with Sydney. Yeah, no, it's New Year's in 4 hours in Sydney. All right.
That's a great idea. I'm looking forward to that. I won't be there. I'll be at the rooftop at the JW Marriott in Tampa with Rufus Du Sol.
I feel like our show will be better.
Probably. Definitely better than effing Cool in the Gang. I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah. So that'll be happening Tuesday night, and we will have a Studio B stream. So we've worked up on that. We're going to be working more on our YouTube Shorts this year. I've got some vacation videos to post up for you guys. That'll be coming in the next couple of days, and then of course more right here on the Talking Trek podcast and the Twitching Trek and now Tubing Trek live channels that we've got. I'm not going to actually rename it Tubing Trek. I'm just saying we're streaming live on YouTube now, which we didn't do all of 2024. So
that's not true.
We did it 3 times. And we've got the Star Trek cruise that we're going on in March and that we brought one of you guys to. That's right. We've got Major Samo who won. Rumor has it, Griffin. Rumor has it, Griffin, that we may or may not be giving away another cabin for Star Trek The Cruise 2026. Oh, might already be working on promotional materials for 2026. Star Trek The Cruise 9. For those of you going on Star Trek The Cruise 8, I need you to click on our website right now. That would be TalkingTrekSTFC.com or UltimateDJsPlays.com. Click on the merchandise link and get your very exclusive, very special Talking Trek t-shirt for Star Trek The Cruise. It is available for sale now. That is !merch in the Twitch chat. And visit us on our website at UltimateDJsPlays.com to get your Star Trek The Cruise t-shirt exclusive from Talking Trek. It's available in our merch store, all right? So, yeah, lots of stuff to happen in 2025. And I want to thank all of you guys for hanging out and being a part of the insanity. You guys are incredible. Thank you to our incredible panel of guests and my partner and brother from another mother, Griffin. Thank you so very much for another successful year. And here's to another in 2025, baby.
Yeah, have a great night, everybody. Thanks for the recap, and we'll see you on Thursday.
Yep, coming up Thursday. Actually, Monday, I'll probably stream with you. We might play a little Fortnite. Tuesday, we've got Studio B. Wednesday, we'll be off. Thursday, back on the Talking Trek podcast. Would like to say thank you to everyone who's supported the channel here tonight. Thank you, Check, Louis P., Papa Smurf, and Alicia, N.A. Alistair from Server 20. Thank you, Westcott, Spock, in Ascula, and Tret. I can't read names.
Oh, yeah, they're definitely coming back next time with that.
Thank
Good
you.
job.
Crazy Don, Alligator Loki, Into Hoosier, Trekkie Zerg, Jules Verne, Iron Chef, Ciclid, the Bellander, Moonhead, Lead Couch, White Wolf, and LAX Racer. Thank you guys so very much. I appreciate you guys. Oh, yeah, the Packers lost today. I'm very upset about it. Stray Cat says, sorry I missed you. No, you didn't miss me. Stray Cat, I see you. I see you, Stray Cat. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you guys also very much. Thank you for our live studio audience, be it in Discord, be it on Twitch, be it on YouTube, or in podcast audience on iTunes, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Pandora, and so many more. Thank you guys so very, very much for consuming our content. My name is Ultimate DJs. I'm your friendly neighborhood cat person for Talking Trek, a registered trademark and recorded in front of a live studio audience for distribution across podcast platforms everywhere. My name is Ultimate DJs. You guys have a great night. Love you, man. We'll catch you on the next one. Good night, everybody. Woo!